As you can see, the Miss Beacon Plumbing is controlled by these flight controls, and they're controlled with my feet. So we've controlled them down the straightaway by keeping the boat off the water, which makes it fast, but not too off the water, which makes it crash. So then we get down to the corner, and when we turn into the corner, we want it to stay on the water, but then at the same time, as it gets partway through the turn, we want to add more lift or more up elevator in an airplane to keep the nose up and to make it go faster around the turn. And you can see that happening too. So it's a real integral part of how the Miss Beacon Plumbing runs and what makes it fast or not. So all this is real complicated, but without the help of Bill Cahill and all the employees of Beacon Plumbing, couldn't happen. Kelly and Sharon, support us. Bill Cahill supports them. Makes the whole world go round. And thank you, Seattle, for supporting Beacon Plumbing. They do a lot for us. They do a lot for the community. And looking forward to the race.
Memorial Barge, John Mosteller Memorial Start Finish Line. Are you ready to go racing Tri-Cities? It is time to get the H1 Unlimiteds back out on the water. It is heat number 4 for the H1 Unlimiteds.
Afternoon. Let's go down to the pits. First, I got a question to ask. We've got significant cloud cover, no shine to look and see the rollers. What the race conditions with a little breeze picking up in the cloud cover? Definitely different than yesterday. Good points, bad points for the drivers as they navigate now a somewhat different course than what we had this morning.
I guess if I was going to answer that question, is we're 3 seconds, 2, 1, mark. 5 minutes. Our boats are starting to come out for our Heat 4. In answer to your question, I think the one piece to the puzzle there is it's different. It's still a very, very, very good race course. It's still a very, very calm race course. It just is a little different. One run up and down the front straightaway, and these guys will know exactly what they're up against. They're the best in the business. These are the boat racers that have come up through the ranks. They've excelled all the way to this point, and they are in the fastest race boats in the world. They know how to handle it. They just got to know what it is. Right in front of Derek is the Chartreuse in royal blue. That is the U11, the Joker's Casino. Met some Joker's Casino people during the air show. Some great folks here. They're having a great time. Also had a conversation. Boy, they're doing this right in order. The powder blue and white, the U1 is Home Street. Met some of their folks, and all of a sudden we've had the lid down on the 91, the Goodman Real Estate, and now all of a sudden crew members have jumped on board and the lid has gone up. J. Michael Kelly's boat is still sitting at the dock. They haven't even tried to pull that one away. The nose is still up snug against the dock. I'll throw it back up to you guys, and I'll keep an eye on the pit area down here, but now perhaps a little bit of drama with the 91, the Goodman Real Estate.
Let's head over to Tire Factory turn number 2, and Derek Maselli for News Radio 610 KONA. The one thing that I noticed, the wind is coming right at me now, so it's got to be right at your back as you look up towards the top end of the course.
Yeah, that's exactly the case, but the water still looks pretty smooth.
It does.
Out here, actually. So I don't anticipate, at least until maybe the guys start chopping it up themselves, as we've got a full slate of races coming up this afternoon. Right now, it's still looking pretty much like glass out there, despite what is definitely a noticeable breeze at my back now.
Here comes Kelly.
So J. Michael Kelly is away in the Lynx Healthcare, presents Miss Tri-Cities, the 9, but still Goodman Real Estate. Jeff Bernard, the 91, the Miss Madison 2, is not out from the pits.
Now, and he's still got crew members on board, and the lid is still up, so they're in trouble. They're scrambling down there. On my watch, we've got 2 minutes and 45 seconds. He's got to be out on the race course in a planing attitude at the 1 minute mark. He's got about a minute and a half.
So the boats are all on the backstretch right now. J. Michael Kelly on the inside. Now you see Jimmy Shane on the outside heading up to Sun Market turn number 3, our friends with Sun Pacific Energy. Now as the boats come around the top end of the course to the apex and to the exit bin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4, that's when they'll start to pick up that breeze head on.
So
and that's what we'll be watching.
Quickly, like Brad was saying, within a lap, maybe within this lap, they have a chance to figure it out.
Jamie Nielsen ducks through the Esco Electric infield from back to front stretch and jumps in front of J. Michael Kelly and Jimmy Shane.
About a minute left for it to get away from the dock.
Yeah, the clock is on for Jeff Bernard and the Goodman Real Estate. Jimmy Shane's going to come down at a fairly good clip across start finish, and I think he's going to leapfrog in front. He may want an inside lane for this race. Now he's going to jump across the Esco Electric infield to the backstretch.
Yeah, he was going way too fast to come all the way down the race course. I expect he's going to go up and cut again up at the top end. You know my timing marks. It's a minute 30, and it's a minute 30 right now. And Jamie, boy, he's here early, and he's trying to scruff off some time. He's staying outside the buoys. Meanwhile, down in the pit area, there's about 4 people on the deck of the black and gold.
Wow.
It does not look good as they're coming up on 15 seconds, and it doesn't look good for the Goodman Real Estate.
Jimmy Shane across the Esco Electric DMZ to the front stretch, Brad. You called it. He's coming down the front stretch, heading to All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1. Is he going to dive across here?
Nope, he's going to come all the way down. And we're inside 1 minute. That's it for the Goodman Real Estate. They're out. You're going to have a 3-boat heat. Jamie Nielsen's going to be in lane 1 again. He's been there all weekend. See if he can make it work this time. You got him.
J. Michael Kelly setting up in lane number 2. And lane number 3 has been a good one so far for the 1, Home Street Bank and Jimmy Shane. So the boats now heading to the top end of the course with 35 seconds to the start of Unlimited Heat 4.
And to my recollection, the last 3 of these unlimited heats, all of the drivers have pretty much synchronized their marks and have gotten to the start-finish line. It's been very close, but we've had a good start on all the races except the one yesterday. Coming down the stretch, 15 seconds, 15 seconds.
Early.
Jamie Nielsen off the exit pin at turn number 4 onto the front stretch. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. It is a clean start, but the boat speeds all the way on the outside. It's going to be the home street. Jimmy Shane leading down the front stretch. J. Michael Kelly's in the tunnel in between.
Yeah, he's definitely, Shane has tightened it up a little bit. It's going to be a little tight in there for Kelly, but he's on the inside. Derek, you got a better view.
And there he is, bouncing left and right and back again. Still staying good on that outside in lane 3. Meanwhile, J. Michael Kelly, maybe half a rooster tail behind now in that lane number 2, and then hugging the inside. That missed Joker boat. It's Jamie Nielsen, where he likes to be as well, as they now work down the Griggs backstretch off towards Sun Pacific Energy, turn number 3.
Yeah, Jamie Nielsen really had to back off the throttle. He got lumpy in Tire Factory turn number 2. He backed off. J. Michael Kelly's now fallen about a half a rooster tail behind. He's in lane number 2. On the outside is your race leader. That's the one, the home street with Jimmy Shane. Beautiful turn at the top end of the course at the exit pin at turn number 4 for Jimmy Shane. Back onto the front stretch, and Kurt will have a time as he comes across the Musteller start-finish line.
154.299 miles an hour.
That is cooking. J. Michael Kelly's hot on his heels, but he's back a rooster tail as they head to all doors turn number 1.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly's giving ground to Jimmy Shane. Shane's already at the apex just as Kelly gets to the entrance, Derek.
Yeah, and this is huge, guys. Remember, right now, this team with the Miss Tri-Cities that links U9, the U8 situation that we had with that crash, they're actually not that far behind this Miss Madison crew in in the national point standings right now. So that's definitely a matchup to watch as they work now down that Griggs backstretch off toward Sun Pacific Energy turn number 3.
Yeah, and they dive into turn number 3, and it's almost a 2 rooster tail lead now for Jimmy Shane in the home street as he comes around to the apex and the exit pin of turn number 4. J. Michael Kelly trying to reel him back in, but he's not going to have enough real estate. And the boat speed, it's been just perfect all weekend long for Jimmy Shane in the Madison home street, the 1. Here comes J. Michael Kelly across start-finish line, but he's 2 rooster tails back of our race leader, Jimmy Shane.
Yeah, Shane's coming down here. He's really opened up the water now. He can drive anywhere he wants to go. Got plenty of lead on J. Michael Kelly, but he's still staying out wide. He's flying the boat at the apex, coming right to Derek.
Yeah, still at this point seems like it's really his race to lose, but now J. Michael Kelly cuts it inside on that turn, took it tight. He's still got a lot of ground to cover, probably a rooster tail and a half or so down this Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, but as we watch from across the pond, Derek, you can just see that the home street is starting to pull away on the Griggs backstretch.
Shane backing off the throttle just a touch. Lap number 2, 151. Still cooking, but not like lap number 1. He's just enjoying the ride now.
It's been a good one and another great start. No, Jamie Nielsen and the Jokers has moved outside. Remember, he had lane number 1 at the start. He's moved outside into lane number 3, allowing J. Michael Kelly to get in closer to the buoy line and have some clean water. So across start-finish line in Heat 4 is the H1 U1 for the checkered flag for Jimmy Shane, and it is out. Second place finish for J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Jamie Nielsen just coming off of the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 4 onto the front stretch to get third place points in heat number 4. And a special thanks now, we've had our changes with the heat situation, but there are a number of waterfally sponsors that have come together to make this possible, including Arizona Mobile Fleet, the Trust Company, and our friends at the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 112. So thank you for your sponsorship of HAPO Columbia Cup action, along with Con-El Oil and Par Lumber. Thank you for being big partners with the Waterfallies again this year, the HAPO Columbia Cup. But Jimmy Shane, he's got that lane 3 dialed in, and the boat is performing perfect.
Well, Mr. Shane, there's no weaknesses. Every aspect of the boat racing game, they have all the boxes checked. Now it's just a matter of finding that good, smooth water, because they can beat you from any lane.
Well, that's the only variable that's left would be the conditions on the river or possible wind issue that could affect, because you've checked the box for the driver, you checked the box for the boat. they're solid.
And the setup is outstanding. So no matter where he is on this river, he's a dangerous man.
Yeah, the only variable you can't control would be a roller, something like that, out on the river, or some sort of a situation with a wind gust.
You know, and you're completely not undeterred out in the outside lane. There are still obstacles, etc.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, it's a river. At the same time, though, Shane is comfortable no matter where it is that he's going to, put the boat in the situation that's the best drive for him. Because at this point, it's just really enjoying the ride, not making a mistake.
That's it. Avoid the mistake box.
Right.
That's the one you don't want to check.
No turnovers.
Special thanks to Grocery Outlet. Right now, their Independence from Hunger food drive is on. Get 5, give 5. Donate $5 or more in a single transaction in-store and receive a coupon for $5 off a future purchase of $25 or more. That's at Grocery Outlet.
And thanks for the tech updates. All City Transmission. Relieve your stress when your auto needs servicing but is not drivable to the shop. All City Transmission offers free local towing with major repairs to help take the strain off of your wallet. Air Show sponsorship, thank you, Bunch Finnegan. And the only right-hand turn on the Super Speedway course. Summit funding on that turn number 5. Over 99% of people that are pre-approved and go under contract with Summit funding close on their homes. I love that track record. Offices in Kennewick or visit the website summitfunding.com.
Also, thanks to Bob's Burgers and Brew, it's our traffic watch. When we have heat racing underway, make sure that you're focused on where you're driving when you're heading over the Blue Bridge. 240 has looked smooth all day long. Now, that will change as traffic starts to head out of the park here at the main exit. And just be advised that you are being watched as you exit. So make sure that you're driving in your lane, just like the boat drivers stay in their lane out here on the Columbia River course.
Oh, you drivers of the asphalt, you have assigned lanes. Please don't deviate.
Traffic watch thanks to Bob's Burgers and Brew with 2 locations, Kennewick and Richland. Bacon burger, chicken, gourmet burgers. So many selections to choose from with indoor and outdoor seating. Bob's can manage any appetite. Bob's Burgers and Brew, only the best. Let's head down to the Lamson Pits, and we should be with our drivers. Jimmy Shane, the winner of Heat 4. Second place finish for J. Michael Kelly in the 9 Lynx Healthcare.
Glenn, can you do it? Glenn's got J. Michael Kelly down there, but he's got a mic that's not. See if you can get Mike to come this way just a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Talk to him as you walk.
That's an old
we got
commercial. So, J. Michael Kelly, good job out there finishing second. How'd the water feel?
Conditions are perfectly fine. Couldn't ask for better water, really.
We were talking before the heat got underway. It's a little different from what we saw yesterday. Temperature's about 10 degrees cooler. It's a little cloudy. Does that impact you at all in the way you run?
No, actually, it feels better being in that cockpit. It was pretty hot yesterday. A lot better today, so definitely makes it easier on us while we're out there running around.
Obviously not quite to the finale, so what kind of work, what kind of rabbits are you looking to pull out of the hat?
Whatever we can find. That blue boat's pretty fast, and we're going to have to just see what we got in the truck and see if we can find something that, so we can go run with those guys right now.
All right, J. Michael Kelly, thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Pit reporters, thanks to American Radiator on News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com. Thanks for being a part of our broadcast this year. American Radiator. Yes, go right ahead, Brad.
I'm sorry if I can jump in here. Glenn got done down there with J. Mike. I'm here with, what was the name again? Shane. Jimmy Shane. That's your name?
Yes.
And you drive this Home Street Blue Boat. Then I keep, every 2 hours, I come down and talk to you, right?
Yeah, the beautiful Blue Boat is the one that I pilot.
And that one seems to be running awfully fast. And again, you're liking that outside lane and all that open water to play with.
Yeah, I'm really just trying to stay clean right now and really focus on hitting really good starts. And I think I've been one of the first boats across the start-finish line every heat so far. So we're going to keep with that mindset, keep on our timing marks, and I just need to be there at the start-finish line going fast. And I think we'll have a really good shot in this final heat.
The guys were asking me before you guys came out, and then when you first came out on the water, they were feeling a little bit of a breeze here. As you and I were just saying, that flag doesn't seem to be moving much. Water conditions still pretty good?
Beautiful, gorgeous out here on the Columbia River. This is probably some of the best conditions we've had in many years. It's not too far off from when we tested back in June when it was just absolutely flat calm. Obviously, we have more boats on the water now to churn it up, but yeah, the conditions are amazing, and I'm looking forward to 2 more sets of heats today.
Well, you and I have been talking an awful lot. I just talked with some H1 personnel up there, and they said, ask Jimmy what his top 10 restaurants are in the Tri-City, so you might work on that list. Or Jimmy and I have been kind of joking down here that maybe he'll interview me next. But you like it when it's like that, but I also know the big one you want to win is later on this afternoon. You want to win this thing.
Yeah, the Tri-Cities and Seattle races have kind of got out of my grasp here the last couple of years, and so I want to be able to come through and finish the weekend out strong, and I want to come away with the Columbia Cup win this weekend to start out the Western swing on the right foot.
Go get something cold to drink. We'll talk to you later on in the day. Thanks, my friend.
Thank you very much.
It is Jimmy Shane. He is the driver of the U1, the Miss Home Street. Guy's been perfect on the weekend. He'll go work on that list of top 10 restaurants. He knows where to eat in town. Everybody knows him when he comes in the front door.
That's good.
Oh, gosh. So, looking up and down the dock, I have my driver is here. Our photographer is here. And there's nobody else on the dock. There's just there's Glenn Vaughan standing up above us, making sure. There we go.
So Brad and Glenn, we ended up losing a couple of the E350 Pro Light Series boats. The final is scheduled for 2 o'clock this afternoon. Will we have a 350 final?
If you'll give your intrepid reporter about 5 minutes, I'll have that answer for you. I'm
That's
sure
awesome.
They got to go out and do something, I would think, but let's go find out. I am on a mission, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
Maybe in those 5 minutes, if I can jump in from over here on the Pasco side. One of the storylines that was really interesting that we've been talking about this weekend, even going back to Friday, guys, was, of course, following the destruction of the original Lynx healthcare boat, that U9, that was now replaced by Miss Tri-Cities, and Strong Racing's pursuit of the team out of Madison points-wise. Part of the reason they did that switch, we know that J. Michael Kelly and that Miss Tri-Cities boat had a really strong win yesterday. They did well in qualifying. They got 400 points, I think it was, for that Heat 1 race that they did. Now falling behind with Jimmy Shane going 3 for 3 so far in his appearances in that Miss Home Street boat. What does this mean in the grand scheme of things in terms of that battle for national points over the course of this entire Cup Series?
Well, the points are what it's all about. Grocery Outlet points chase continues here on the Columbia River course, and it's going to affect the national high points. Everybody wants to pack it, get as many points as possible, take with them to the next stop in Seattle.
I'm kind of with Derek on this. I'm just looking for answers. So excellent question. We need to get a pay raise, Derek. That's our issue, man. We would know these things. Anyway.
Hey, guys, quick down here. You sent me on a mission to find out if we were indeed going to run our E350s. I didn't find anybody that could answer the question, but the sling is on the 331, and it's headed toward the creek. So
well, that's a good sign.
That's a fairly good sign.
But we found out that John Rifle would be out with the 226 pass signs, Thorpe Fruit and Antique Mall. Also, the Strong Racing boat, Kurt Meyer, they had the problem in their last time out, and the 26 will not be coming back out with Kurt Myers.
He was having a great weekend.
Yeah, he was. He was perfect until that last heat.
Right.
Early this morning. The 8:30 a.m. wake-up call for the Tri-Cities. So in our 350 class, the Pro Light Series, Rochelle Hill in the 46 Tri-Cities Cider House Coffee Bean, along with Jason Schrock and the 331 Schrock Racing, will be out there, and Mike Jarvis, who had a surprising comeback in the 6 Leisure Pool and Spa.
Yeah, no, it was very interesting. This morning's race was basically the opposite of what we had anticipated the race being. So, again, that's why we set the table for a terrific day of racing, and over the river, the air show and the boats and stuff. So hopefully we can keep our foot in it and finish the show with a flourish.
Special thanks to American Radiator, our pit sponsor, for our coverage on 610 KONA with free pickup and delivery of your new or rebuilt Record radiators, cleaned DPFs and DOZs, plus welding and metal fabrication jobs too.
Now the boats are scoring up on the backstretch, and it looks like JW might have the inside in the dark yellow boat. It takes a little bit of time here before we are sure that no one's going to take away a lane. Muscatel had the inside. I believe JW now has moved up and taken it away from him. Mike Allen is behind the field a bit. Dave Villwock is out in lane 3 or 4. The 7 has been disqualified. Mike Allen can go back to the pits. He will not be allowed to race here. Now they're coming toward us. Swinging wide is the Lake Ridge Paving way on the outside. Jeff Bernard, he's going to be out in lane 6. A little bit of traffic there in the middle of the field. The leader is Ken Muscatel, but he has to slow down a little bit at the 5-second mark. Watch your screen now. 3, 2, 1. Bernard was right on the line if indeed he wasn't too early.
And way on the outside, Jeff Bernard leads him down into the Blue Bridge turn, and you'll see Chris Bertram come through the picture here in just a few minutes. But we will have the start under review. Chris Bertram is where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be on the outside and in the back. But Dave Villwock is going to exit the Blue Bridge turn in first place. Ken Muscatel is coming. Well, he's losing ground now, and Theoret and J.W. Myers taking him right out after Dave Villwock.
What a beautiful turn as those 4 came sweeping through as Villwock going around the field on the outside. Then J.W. Myers stuck his yellow nose out on the inside. Jean Theoret between boats, and those 4, along with Dr. Muscatel.
And they're real bouncing in.
Oh, there goes Villwock. We have an accident. We have a crash on the backstretch. The Elam Plus has gone over at the left end of the backstretch. The red flares will fire. We will stop the race. The rescue team will be on their way now to Dave Villwock and the stricken Elam Plus.
He is right there at the entrance buoy. That's where the boat landed. Hatch is up on the Elam Plus.
It is right side up.
And the boat is right side up, and you can see that Dave Villwock has popped the hatch on the Elam Plus.
Now this is going to be an issue because that is right where the officials were worried about the conditions. He was running into the wind, up the backstretch, caught a gust, and got high in the air.
Dave is out of the boat. He's walking back. He's looking back at the wing on the back of the boat is broken. Looks like it may even be gone, but Dave is walking back up toward the cockpit now. The boat bounced a couple of times, Steve, and you could see the skid fin was completely out of the water. It bounced again, and Dave just didn't have enough of that canard to press down on to get the boat back down on the water.
We'll be able to replay this for you in just a moment here as soon as we get it rewound. Here we go. Watch Dave Villwock now on the straightaway looking okay. Left sponson comes up just a little bit. There's a bounce. You want it to come back down. It does, but it bounces again, and this time it's too high. It's up and over, a complete 360 and then some, landing right on the transom, almost hit by one of the yellow boats going by. Fortunately, the boat bounced back right side up. Dave Villwock is okay walking around on the boat. Not the way, Mark, we wanted to start the day.
Nope, not at all. And Dave is directing traffic out there as the rescue boats hook up to the Miss Elam Plus. We're trying to get, if we can get maybe a little tighter shot of that. Want to look at the front canard on the boat as well. It looks like there may be some damage right in that
I think Dave, when you saw him walking around the boat originally, was actually doing a little inspection. He's well enough that he's concerned about the boat and wondering if perhaps it could race again today. Normally, that kind of an accident takes a boat out of action for some period of time, but we have seen examples of a boat going through contortions like that and being fixable. Theoret still will have to trail the field now. We got to see what happens here with J.W. Myers on the inside. He's going to have a great lane, but does he have enough race boat to hold off all the speed that will be out to his right? Look at this beautiful shot now as they turn toward us with the setting sun lighting up those rooster tails. Watch the clock at 7, 6, 5. Here comes the start, Mark.
Everybody's backing down just a little bit. Looks like now they will be legal by about 3 boat lengths, and 3 of them lead them across. It's J.W. Myers, Jimmy King, and Dave Villwock coming across the line dead even as they cross the line and head for that Blue Bridge turn.
In his previous heats, Villwock has driven around the field in the first turn. Can he do it here? He's got a lot of speed over there. J.W. Myers still okay on the inside, but Jimmy King sticks his red nose out in front of him. We've at least a 2-boat race up the backstretch, and now we see some orange. Look at this. 3 boats side by side accelerating to 170, 180, close to 200 miles per hour now, and it's Jimmy King with the horsepower to stick his nose out ahead.
Halfway up the backstretch, Jimmy King, about a 1-boat lead over Dave Villwock. He's outside of him. He's buried in the rooster tail. You can't see him, and it's J.W. Myers Myers on the inside in the Miss Solutions Plus. This is going to be a drag race all the way around. Dave Villwock and Jimmy King dead even. A tight turn by J.W. Myers as they come off the turn and head for the end of lap number 1.
J.W. had it right on the boy line, and look at Jimmy King. The Pistons are screaming. Dave Villwock is going to go by him right at start-finish, but King will still have the inside, and he still has J.W. Myers off to his left. Those three boats are going to be neck and neck as our first turn camera picks them up. Watch this turn.
You've got J.W. Myers on the inside. He still controls the race course, but Jimmy King has dropped back about 2 boat lengths, and Dave Villwock leads off the turn, now about 1 boat length, and you could throw a blanket really over all 3 of them. Only about 3 boat lengths between first, Dave Villwock in the Elam, second, the Conover Insurance and Jimmy King, and third, J.W. Myers in this Solutions Plus.
Jimmy King's boat hopped just a bit right at the exit pin, and it cost him a little bit as Villwock was able to move away. Jimmy is slowing down.
We heard a
J.W.
big
goes
pop.
by him. We heard a pop. The U3 has lost an engine, and Jimmy King is out of it. And now it's up to J.W. Myers in the U10 to chase Dave Villwock, and that's exactly what he's doing. He has position on the inside, but he has perhaps the fastest race boat in the history of this sport to try to catch as Villwock comes down to finish lap 2.
Flying the boat across the start-finish line at the end of lap 2 is Dave Villwock, and J.W. Myers loses a little ground as they come down the straightaway. Your leader heading into the Blue Bridge turn by a full rooster tail length. Now J.W. Myers has moved to the outside, so Dave Villwock has the course under his control.
And we have a story back in 3rd place because it's Jean Theoret. He was the trailer boat. If he stayed legal and started behind the field, he has accomplished quite a bit. He's gotten by Mike Allen in the red boat and Steve David as well. That's quite an accomplishment, Mark.
Halfway up the backstretch, you've got Dave Villwock now leading by 3 full rooster tails. He has the race under control on the 3rd of 5 times around. I think we failed to mention, but the final is a 5-lap final, and they are still running. But Mike, J.W. Myers now has fallen back, and Dave Villwock has this course under control.
We still have 4 boats in less than a quarter of a lap. They are led by Dave Villwock. It's a beautiful sight as they turn toward us, and the setting sun lights up those rooster tails. Villwock comes by us now at start-finish, and the overlap back to the U10 is just about this long as J.W. Myers comes by right now. So
if somebody has hooked or missed a buoy, and I think that may be Jean Theoret.
Theoret is driving through the infield. He apparently missed a buoy. He talked about the sun being a problem for him as he headed west, and he apparently missed a buoy. He's gone now to pick it up, and that's put Steve David back up into 3rd place.
Dave Villwock now off the first turn and heading up the backstretch. 2nd place, J.W. Myers, now just off that 2nd turn, and so it's almost a half a straightaway lead for Dave Villwock on the 4th of 5 times around.
So Jean Theoret continues to give us thrills. We were looking entirely the other direction, and when we looked up, he was driving through the infield, apparently feeling he had to go back and pick up a buoy. Jimmy King was going to give Dave Villwock all he wanted in this heat. His engine went away and kept us from the excitement that would have provided. Too bad, because now it looks like it's going to be all Villwock as he comes down to take the white flag. He'll have one lap to go for another Columbia River Championship, and Dave, of course, has a few of those already. Now, J.W. Myers comes by. Pretty good weekend for the team from Las Vegas in the U10 if they hang on to this 2nd place position.
Yeah, considering they ripped the bottom out of the boat in Detroit, and they had a lot of problems. They had to fix this boat and get it back into shape. So J.W. getting some seat time, but he is a full turn now behind your leader, Dave Villwock, off of turn number 1, the Blue Bridge turn, on his last time around.
And as you watch Dave Villwock, the 3rd place boat, Steve David, has just come by us here, so he is nearly a half lap back. We have some pretty good racing on the front straightaway here that our camera will pick up as it comes by, because the red Formula Boats is being chased by Jean Theoret. They are racing for 4th and 5th place, but putting on a pretty good show back there. We're showing it to you now as they come into the turn. We'll go back to the leader as he heads up here, because he'll be taking the checkered flag. And there is Dave Villwock turning to the east for the final time this weekend. He'll come down to take the checkered flag and the championship here in Atomic Cup 2006. 6.
And another tight turn by J.W. Myers. He's not given up, but Dave Villwalk has crossed the finish line in first place, and it will be the U10 with Solutions Plus with J.W. Myers in second place, and our third place boat now at the top of the final turn, and that should be Steve David and the Oboy Oberto. And we've got a pretty good little race here between John Theoret and Mike Allen for 4th and 5th place as they come through the turn.
Which is the race you're looking at right now. In the foreground, you see Steve David coming by to take 3rd place, but let's watch this little scrap here for 4th and 5th as they turn toward us side by side. It looks like the boat on the outside, Sean Theoret, who remarkably enough came from the trailer boat position, passed everybody, then did an extra half lap when he had to go pick up a buoy, and is going to come up with a 4th place finish here. No small accomplishment as he finishes ahead of Mike Allen in the formulaboats.com. So the final heat kind of went according to the racing form, but it did give us some excitement, especially in the first heat, because of the great start by J.W. Myers and the apparent ability of Jimmy King and the piston-powered U3 to run with Dave Villwalk. In the end, too much driver, too much race boat.
Let's send it down to the pits and Scott Reister.
Yeah, here with Rick Swanson after that incredible win. Rick, how about that day? You start out with a flip, you end up winning the rest of the way. How you guys feeling?
Hey, man, we are absolutely elated. That was just phenomenal. Dave just drove the pants off the boat out there, just flew it around the corner. Oh, we're just ecstatic. I mean, we didn't expect to be here after blown over, but you know, here we are. So, I mean, what can we say? This is just awesome.
All right, we're waiting for Villwalk. He's pulling in right now. We'll try to get a word with him in just a moment, as Dave Villwalk is now a 3-repeat champion here on the Columbia River. Back to you, Mark and Steve.
You know, Steve, we keep track of wins and losses.
Scott, if you can hear me, grab the guy behind you, Sven Elstrom, who is the patriarch of that family and a delightful guy to talk to. He doesn't usually get very excited, but he might be right now. So, Scott, if you're able to do that, just give us the heads up and we will throw it back to you. Dave Villwalk is going to take a victory lap with the hatch open as he comes into the pit area, but he'll be down there with you shortly. A lot of happiness in certainly one of the high-quality race teams, Mark, that we've ever seen assembled in this sport. The one run by Eric Elstrom out of Ballard, Washington. Their shop is about 2 city blocks from the Bardol Manufacturing Company, which gives them some history right there.
Well, it hasn't always been that way for the Elstrom team, though. They started out getting their lumps and bumps just like everybody else, and with the boat that debuted in 2001, the boat that won here today, they really stepped up the competition. I was going to say, we keep track of drivers' wins and losses. Now, I guess we have to start our flip and win list. We have 2 tied for the most flips and wins, and that would be Mark Evans and Dave Villwalk.
Out on the race course, guys, in the truck, you can see the rescue boat going out to Jimmy King, and that's for a very good reason. Jimmy has a plane to catch, and they have figured out that if they tow the boat back into the pits, he'll miss his plane. So they're going to go out with the rescue boat and get Jimmy King off the U3 floating on the backstretch and try to get him over to the dock and to Tri-Cities International in time to catch his plane back to Michigan. This all took a little bit longer today than any of us thought it would, so I'm sure there are a few people with travel plans and things that have to be changed. So Jimmy is okay. He just needs a ride back to the pit area a little faster than he was going to get if he stayed with his race boat.
Taking a look at the rescue boat over there right now, and they'll get him off the boat and back into the pits, off over to the airport as quickly as they can.
Maybe they could put him in the official's helicopter here and take him right to TCI.
There you go. There's a possibility.
Scott, as soon as you have a driver down there, we'll throw it to you. We know there is bedlam in the pit area after a victory like this. This is the second Mark Allen in the history of the flip and win. My little buddy Mark Evans, who raced many times here in the Tri-Cities out of Chelan, did it once in Seattle. That boat probably had more damage internally than this one. This one landed right side up and didn't have a lot of water in the boat messing up the electrical systems or anything like that. New tail feathers, new canard, and they were off and racing, really didn't miss a step. All day.
Nope, they didn't. They sat out that heat. They had to because they were the reason for the stoppage. They got back in heat 3, and then in the final heat, and Dave just ran away from everybody but the first lap. The first lap was one of the most exciting laps, 3 abreast all the way around. Dave Villwalk, J.W. Myers, and Jimmy King, and that was worth the price of admission.
We saw Dave come off the boat. He's into a cluster of media now, and fortunately we have a big, healthy youngster in there, Scott Scott Rice are doing our reporting. He'll be among the first to get to Dave, and we'll be able to go back down there momentarily. You're looking at a shot of Jimmy King's boat. That's a replay because Jimmy is still on the boat. He's actually been taken back to the pit area in hopes that he can catch that plane. Looking at a scene now and some happiness in the pit area as well. There should be. There's Dave Villwock and his wife Pam, who many times has met her victorious husband on the dock. Go ahead, Scott.
And the World Championship guys came to the aid and put the boat back together. We went out and won the next heat, and man, we had lots of power in the final. She was running great.
No, you can't say enough about your crew, can you?
No, I can't. I mean, that's what championship teams are all about. The teams that have adversity, but don't keep their head in the game. I can't say enough for that. You just got to keep your head in the game every single time.
Hey, David, at what point did you feel pretty good about bringing this thing home?
About never. It was really, really hard to see. And so, you know, Theoret was pressing there for a while. And, hey, good job. Good job. Hey, Ethan. This is a good luck job. Yeah.
You've won here plenty of times. How's this compare?
Wow, that's awesome. To get lucky enough to really crash the boat like that and have the team be able to come back and fix it and then win again. And, you know, we logged a lot of points today, so it's an awesome day for our team. You know, no matter how the points works out. We got a race boat still. We get to sleep this week. We haven't slept for a few weeks, so we probably won't be near as itchy. So, like I said, I just can't say enough about the Elstrom family and Eric and the job. He's a brilliant guy, and he's done so much to keep this team at the level that it is. He's set out to win another championship, and I don't know if we can do it or not, but we're going to try.
Take us through the last race. How'd you get out in front by so far?
Hey!
Pretty good.
The guys like this that are behind us that help us get everything we need.
The only thing I swept the floor. And I emptied the dumpster.
Okay. He's a brilliant guy himself. He's fathered an unbelievable company with an unbelievable group of people and family, and I'm just happy to be part of them.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice to have you, okay? Thanks. Now, if you put it there,
Yeah.
All right, guys.
3 hours ago, I said to myself,
That was
Yeah, we're at 99 degrees now. Still looking for a high to move to 108 degrees this afternoon. Winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Weather update from Anderson and Zentz Dental. So from H1 heat number 4, the 1 with Jimmy Shane, the Victor, has cleared tech inspection, as has the 9 with J. Michael Kelly. The 11, a disqualification for going under 80 miles per hour, so a flagrant speed violation for the 11. So no points for Jeff Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate Miss Madison. Check that in the 11. That's Jamie Nielsen, rather, in the Joker's casino boat.
But no points for Jeff Bernard either, because the 91 never came away from the dock. We're hearing talk of an electrical system.
Oh.
I did touch very briefly with Jeff. I said, other than the fact that it didn't start, what was the cause of the problem? He goes, it didn't. So said it wouldn't start. So, but anyway, didn't get any points either. So here we are, the countdown to 5 minutes to.
Mark, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to the start of our E350 final heat. And you can hear the boats heading out of the Lamson pits, and that means swimmers, we need you out of the water and up on the shoreline. Everybody cooling off in the Columbia. Time to head back on shore, please. Rochelle Hill will lead the parade out of the pits.
Yep, see, she's already ahead. I got it. My boat's out front.
Jason Schrock is actually going to pass Rochelle, heading over to our turn 2 location with Derek Maselli, Tire Factory turn 2.
Oh, yeah, and then, of course, Jarvis there in that yellow boat in the 3. And it should be real interesting to see how this plays out again for Rochelle. It's going to be that issue of, can she figure out how to fool that computer, because we know this boat can do it. Schrock says, hey, don't forget about me. I'm the winner out here right now from the previous heat. And Jarvis's crew, again, they worked really hard yesterday to get this going and ready so that they could race today. I don't see them just keeling over anytime soon.
So with the Grand Prix boats, thanks to Local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters, lane assignments, that's how they work their start. For these boats, it is not. They will be fighting for position out on this race course this afternoon. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to the start of the final for the E350s. Rochelle Hill has the red boat with the yellow trim. The yellow boat with red trim that's on the inside of her is Mike Jarvis. And then the trailing boat will be the bright blue. It's actually kind of a dark blue with black trim. Jason Schrock in the Schrock Therapy 331.
He was the one that absolutely nailed the starts during the morning session. Seems like a while ago. So I think he's the guy to beat.
8:30 this morning. That was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
All boats headed down the front stretch. 2 turns on our call for the E350 Pro Light Series. Rochelle Hill dives into turn number 1, gets to the apex, and heads over to the Griggs backstretch. She's in lane number 2. Jarvis in lane number 1 on the inside, and outside you've got Schrock. Now Schrock may try a crossover, maybe, as they head over towards the backstretch.
Yeah, he's definitely lagging behind a bit there. Very interesting to see, but now he's starting to gun it here as he hits this backstretch, maybe close some of that distance a little bit.
It's all about the timing marks and where you want to be on the track. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to the start of our E350 final. Rochelle Hill heading up to turn number 2 at the top end of the course. Jarvis on the inside.
Schrock's a cutter.
So Schrock is going to come across the DMZ Esco Electric infield. And he'll get to the start and finish line now with 1:57 remaining in the countdown.
That appears to be clearly for timing purposes, because he moved to the outside, left those 2 inside lanes open for the boats coming up behind him.
And Hill will take lane number 1 as Jarvis will move to the outside and pass Hill coming down the front stretch. All this with 1 minute and 35 seconds to the start of the E350 final. And look at how far outside Schrock is going, Brad.
He's way deep in this corner here. He's scruffing off some time, but got a lot of real estate to play with. That's what we've been seeing with Jimmy Shane. He's got a lot of water to play with out there, with only 3 boats on the water and about 8 lanes.
And now Rochelle Hill has started to push it a little bit, heading up the Griggs backstretch in lane number 1. Jarvis in 2, Schrock in 3 with 1 minute. 1 minute to the start of the E350 Pro Light Series final.
And if that orange buoy was the score-up marker, they all are basically in the position where they want to be. Looks like Schrock's making a little bit of a move there on the outside.
Yeah, almost going off plane over there. There is no speed requirement for these boats in the starting sequence as there is in the H1 Unlimiteds at 80 miles per hour minimum speed.
35 seconds.
So they head to the top end of the course, and we'll pick them up as they come around with 28 seconds remaining. 28 seconds on the clock. Down to 20. Hill in lane 1, Jarvis lane 2 on the outside, Schrock in lane number 3 as they get to the exit pin.
Better get your foot in it right now. Here they come.
Hill, little bit early, 6 seconds.
5, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
And it is a clean start from our vantage point, and it will be Rochelle Hill leading as they come down the front stretch. But the boat speed is on the outside. Schrock is gaining on Jarvis for third, and now Schrock falls back a little bit. And Rochelle Hill will lead heading into turn number 1. It's a good start.
That it is. I mean, she hit that probably about as well as she could have. Thought it was going to be a little early, but right on cue, maintaining looks like to be about a half a rooster tail lead, maybe a little bit more, but Jarvis now closing pursuit down the Griggs backstretch, and then you've got that Schrock boat with Schrock in third place still hanging out lane 3 on the outside.
Well, it looked like Jarvis, Derek, was really charging hard coming out of turn number 1 back to the grid's backstretch and gaining ground on Rochelle, and then Rochelle started to pull away. And look at that boat perform. The Tri-City Cider House Coffee Bean E46 with Rochelle Hill in the lead as they head into turn number 2. Watch Jarvis trying to catch up on the outside. Really nice turn, hugging close to the buoy line on the inside for Rochelle Hill at the exit pin of turn number 2 onto the front stretch. But Jarvis is gaining a little bit of ground. He is back a rooster tail. Can he make up any real estate as they head down the front stretch? Rochelle Hill's boat looks like it's performing just perfectly as it comes down the front stretch. But Jarvis starting to eat into her lead just a little bit as they get near the entrance pin to turn number 1. Jarvis gaining on the outside. Rochelle dives into turn number 1, and she'll have the short course around, but Jarvis, he's got some clean water on the outside.
Yeah, that is the case, and she takes that turn real tight. Again, knows the positioning, knows it well, still maintaining that about a rooster tail lead or so, but now
she went dead in the water.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Looks like she died out there, and that's going to allow Jarvis to shoot ahead as they move along the Griggs backstretch. Meanwhile, now Schrock gaining some ground. He might actually be able to challenge for second place.
I wish we had a cockpit microphone.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
That is just incredible. The boat shut off again, and Rochelle Hill is back up on plane, but Jarvis is up in front and leading the E350 final.
I wonder if he knew at some point in the race that exact thing was going to happen with her computer.
So Jarvis, the exit pin of turn number 2. Rochelle Hill is fighting to get back into some sort of position and have a challenge. We've got 1 lap remaining. The white flag is out. Rochelle Hill now, her job is to hold off Jason Schrock and the Schrock therapy. And I don't know that she can. You can hear that boat is kind of cycling through that computer issue, whatever it might be, and going up and on and up and on and surging.
That's too bad.
Yeah, you can see Jarvis with the comfortable lead here now as they round the turn, but Schrock closing in. It's like they can smell blood in the water. They're really trying to push past Rochelle here in that boat, and it looks like coming out of this turn along the backstretch, Schrock Therapy is taking about half a boat length lead.
What a shame for Rochelle Hill. That boat was in the lead and shut down. Coming up the backstretch, the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, your race leader is Mike Jarvis. Leisure Pool and Spa into turn number 2. 1 more turn to make and the front stretch, and the checkered flag awaits for the E350 final for Mike Jarvis.
Our first Columbia Cup champion of 2022.
Jarvis to the exit pin, onto the front stretch. To the John Mosteller Memorial start-finish line, the checkered flag is out, and your E350 Pro Light Series winner for 2022 at the HAPO Columbia Cup, it's Mike Jarvis. Second place goes to Schrock Racing and the Schrock Therapy.
Well, sports fans, there you go. The computer issue, it's an inexpensive deal, but if you can't count on it, I don't know. They got to find that tipping point, I guess. It's great to save the money, but if it's just going to fail you when you absolutely have to have it, that's obviously needs to be addressed.
Need to find out what adjustment you need to make to fool that computer to keep it running. Rochelle had the lead and had not a sure victory, but boy, she sure didn't get a chance the way that boat ended up shutting off on her.
It's too bad. It's almost like her iCloud. I don't know about you, but my iCloud, it just shuts down all the time. Do you ever have iCloud issues?
I don't use the I format.
Well, then we'll move on to the next piece of material. No, it's it can be frustrating beyond belief, and I can't imagine her angst leading the race and really putting a good run together, and then just that's it.
You think the steering wheel's got a dent in it?
You're done here. So
that's just amazingly bad luck. But it's been something that they've been dealing with through the entire weekend.
They have. Exactly right. They just have not been able to find whatever is the cure-all. It still is elusive.
Yep.
I hope they find it. Ladies got talent, no question about it.
The gremlin in the machine. So Jason Schrock made an extra lap and looks like he's going to make another. That's interesting. I bet. Nope. It looks like he's going to make that right-handed turn. Summit Funding turn number 5 and head back to the lamps and pits. But I thought he was going to make another run around the Columbia River course. Congratulations again to our E350 champion for the weekend. That is Mike Jarvis in the 6 Leisure Pool and Spa. Second place. A nice run for Rochelle Hill in the Tri-City Coffee House and Coffee Bean E46, and Jason Schrock, 331 Schrock Racing in third. But for Rochelle, frustrations continue with the 350 engine, and it's part of a program. We were talking about this because the same thing happened down at the Richland Regatta a month ago, and they're just trying to figure out how that they can let the engine know that, yes, it's really all this energy is going somewhere. That's what they're trying to fool the computer. It doesn't think that all that energy is going somewhere, so it stops it. And it's a safety feature so that you don't cause harm to the engine.
Well, I appreciate what they're, the MacGyver thing, fool the computer, but I don't think fooling the computer is a long-term solution.
Well, they've got to figure out a way to let the computer know that, yes, this boat is moving.
And
it's on a boat instead of a car.
So it needs to know that, no, we're not in danger of blowing things up here.
And I do believe that on a vehicle, somehow it tracks the way the transmission is performing to know that it's actually moving and matching what the horsepower output of the engine is so that it will continue to perform.
There's got to be some areas.
On a boat, it's different.
Some areas of code in the computer that just let it know.
It's more finding something that will provide that same kind of notification that, yes, we are moving.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's
propeller shaft somehow to measure, I don't know. Somehow you've got to get a timing mark.
Hey, guys.
Yes, Bradley.
Shoot. Jump in down here because I'm not quite sure what the reaction is I'm going to get from Michelle, but I got to think on some level you're pretty disappointed, but on the other side of things, you've got to feel really good.
Yeah, it's a relief. I had the lead and the dang thing shut off on me again, but we'll figure it out. We were in the lead. That's great. But, overall, we started off with a bunch of problems, and we became consistent, and that's what it takes to stay out here.
Yeah, you got to be consistent, and after you can start and finish and keep running, in your case, then you can start working on being faster and faster.
Yeah, well, the faster will come to us, but yeah, just really happy with the team, and this is an all-volunteer team from Tri-Cities. This is a really cool deal that they came out to support me, and yeah, just thanks to all your fans for sticking through all this heat and stuff. This is a great race.
It is a great event, and actually nobody's listening to us. It's just you and me talking right here. We always go around the broadcast crew and pick our winner. I was in your corner, young lady.
Yes. Well, maybe next time.
Oh, and we've been talking. Oh, that's the boat. Anyway, congratulations. You were explaining to me what this program was and what you were trying to do. I think you took some great strides.
Thank you. I just hope that more people can get back out here and get racing again.
Keep at it. All right, Rochelle Hill, driver of the E46 TC Cider House.
Got a great attitude.
Let's get these two together right here because we got Rochelle congratulating. What's your name, Mr. Jarvis, sir?
Michael Jarvis.
So it didn't appear to me you were able to run down the young lady here. She was flying.
She was flying. She got the inside lane from me. I really wanted lane 1. But snuck in there, and I was like, okay, we're just going to have to battle from the outside. So LS injected versus LS carbureted, that's what we got. And I think you're seeing possibly the future of the class with these 2 motors.
She's making it work.
She is. It's flying. You're doing really good out there.
And Rochelle, what do you think about racing against this guy? You got to have faith in that other competitor when you're that close. I know you both have a lot of respect for each other.
Absolutely. You know, this is something that people don't understand about racing is that, you know, this is a community. This is like a family out here. So it's like I'm racing against my brother. And, you know, sorry, bro, I took your lane.
We'll get you next time.
Well, I've been watching both of you race for a long time. That was a lot of fun for us and the fans. And congratulations, Mr. Jarvis. This is good stuff.
It is. The first time here at Water Follies. It's great. And I'm glad hopefully we can keep putting on great shows for the fans and, you know, the city of Kennewick Tri-Cities, because this is a great venue. I love it here.
Keep bringing your boat and your team. Your team's wonderful. Keep bringing them all back. It's a good weekend. And you, sir, are the HAPO Columbia Cup champion of the E350s. That's got to work pretty good.
I love it. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Very happy Michael Jarvis, as you might imagine. And boy, I look down to the dock on the H1 Unlimited side. We got big boats going in the water. Our Glenn Vaughan is down with Jason Schrock, I think.
Yeah, I am. Thanks a lot, Brad. So, Jason Schrock, how'd that final go? What'd you see out there?
It was a little disappointing. It's a little rough. The boat's got a little damage we found when we were picking it up. I blew out the exhaust headers, so we got some stuff to fix after this, and hopefully we'll be at the next one and running better.
I hear the disappointment in your voice from this finale, but considering where you started on Friday, coming in late, Saturday was Saturday, how would you compare the whole weekend?
I wasn't even planning on coming out. So heat win this morning was great. I was hoping to go out there and do it again, and I could have done a couple things better, and live and learn.
Well, if nothing else, that just gives you something to build on for next year.
Absolutely.
All right, Jason, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Special thanks to our pit reporters, Glenn Vaughan and Brad Luce, down in the pits, getting our reaction from the race winner. And again, congratulations, Mike Jarvis, Pro Light Series E350 class victory for Mike Jarvis in the 6 Leisure Pool and Spa. Second place for Rochelle Hill in the E46 Tri-City Cider House Coffee Bean. And it was Jason Schrock, Schrock Therapy, E331 Schrock Racing in 3rd place. Coming up, we are back out on the river with more H1 Unlimiteds. Special thanks on our broadcast to Core Concepts Chiropractic.
Center of the river. The countdown, 4 seconds to the 5-minute mark.
5 minutes.
Mark right there. And here it comes. Tony, are you ready over there on your side? Because I'm going to send you 6 of the coolest vehicles you've ever seen as they slowly start to come away from the dock. JMK's coming out. The Griggs Ace Hardware is out. Here comes Jimmy Shane, Tom Thompson, Greg Hopp is coming, and Andrew Tate. They are all coming away in a late afternoon sun. Right to you, Tony Ott. Count them by.
Here it is, the 2017 HAPO Columbia Cup final, and we are getting ready for some racing. And as you called it, here it comes, the 3, the Terminator. Here's the winner, and a big cheer just came out from the Pasco side as he crosses over the exit pin, followed up by the 12 Graham Trucking. Here comes the 11.
U3, Griggs Ace Hardware, Jimmy King.
There you go. There's a bunch of bolts right there. Still looking for the 99. Is the 99? He's
U12, Graham Trucking, J. Michael Kelly.
Come on now.
He's coming 4 minutes. Michael McDonald may want to remind our listeners we've been running 4-lap heats. Got to go.
U9, Les Schwab Tires, Andrew Tate.
Take all.
5-lap final. And a reminder, the patrol boats out there are shooing you out of the water.
Outside the U11, Mr. Julio J&D's Tom Thompson. On the inside, the U1, Home Street Bank, Miss Madison, Jimmy Shane.
As we see our first cut.
Nice job. The 9 has got speed. He's going to go into turn 2 and come smoking down the front chute. Okay, you got about 30 seconds to get to the entrance of 1. 30 seconds. 306 entrance. 306 entrance. Home Street followed you.
So J. Michael Kelly is in lane number 1 coming down that front stretch. Lane number 2 is going to be Jimmy Shane in the Home Street.
9.9, Car Star, Miss Rock, Greg Hopp.
Back behind. Tate is going to go on the outside with full boat speed into turn number 1.
There goes the Griggs. The U3 cuts across.
And here comes the 1.
Yep, Jimmy Shane's going to cut back across the infield.
3 minutes.
That
3
leaves-
minutes.
that leaves-
Oh, and they're going to get real close to each other. Oh, my,
Oh,
my
a wash
goodness.
down.
Oh, there was...
Hey, settle in. Settle in.
I'm real sure about that, guys, but that was so very, very close.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane losing some boat speed after going through the rooster tail of the 9 on the backside.
Well, the 9's nose went way up.
Three's lining up here like he's going to come down for the start. He's away early. You can cut here behind him probably and be okay. The 9's going to come around again.
Shane's got a problem.
Well,
You watch him up there.
he went through some water.
Now he's clear. Now he breaks loose.
So watch Jimmy Shane top end of the course. It still doesn't look right, Brad.
No. Boy, Tate hung that left sponson. Oh, my goodness.
He's trying to spool it back up.
Coming up on 2 minutes here. Still about 2:05 to our start. 2:05.
Across the start finish for Griggs Ace Hardware, that is the 9.
2 minutes.
Andrew Tate. Shane is going to be in lane number 2. And I'm wondering if it sounds right. Jimmy King's going to knife across the infield in our Esco Electric infield to the start-finish line.
Three's coming across the infield at the start-finish line, and Jay Michael's behind you. How deep can I go here? How far back is Jimmy? Got 10 rooster tails on him. You can go deep, but I'll let you know as soon as they start creeping up on you.
Of course. Look at him, Tony's way out against the insurance markers.
Yes, he is.
I don't know if he can pull this.
The 9 cannot make a legal start from where he's at. The 12 is slowing down like he's about to cut. The 3 cut, going over to Andrew.
Well, they're coming up the back stretch. And Tate on the way outside trying to be as slow as possible. And watch Jimmy King now at his speed.
The 99 coming across.
Yeah, he's going to jump in behind everybody.
I'm early. Slow her down a little bit,
Yeah, we're listening real close on the radio there, see if we get any warnings here. They'll get a warning, then a penalty. Those guys are crawling. They still got 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Jimmy King is starting, you can see him speed up a little bit. He has been told that he's a little bit below 80 and he's picking it back up.
The 9 and the 3 have been told to pick it up.
Up that back stretch, you've got Jimmy King and the 3 on the inside, the 9 with Andrew Tate in lane number 2. Jimmy Shane's going to be in lane number 3 on the outside, way outside. With
30 seconds.
Speed is the 99.9 with Greg Hopp. J. Michael Kelly is laying back a little bit along with the 11. And Jimmy King and the 9, boy, I tell you what, Tate and King do not look like they're at
12 seconds, find a hole, maybe lane 4. You're at 12 now, go. All ass, let's go. Don't look back. Go. There you go. Hole shot in it. Let's roll.
2, 1, mark.
And boat speed for the 12, Graham Trucking. Look at J. Michael Kelly lead down.
Watch lights, hold them tight. Let's go.
Smoke as he got a lot of air under that hydroplane. He's going to get down here first.
A good spot here, boys.
But he's out in lane number 4, Tony.
Yeah, he is. He's way out in lane number 4.
Good job. Get her around. Let's go. You got +4 on him.
Lane number 2 will be Jimmy Shane.
Andrew Tate has lost speed at turn number 2.
Andrew Tate has fallen way back. But out in front, it'll be J. Michael Kelly.
Can Kelly
+6, lane 3 turn.
and Jimmy King in lane number 1 as we get into turn number 3. The Buffalo Brothers turn 4 coming up next. You pull it out of ports, turn number 3. Jimmy King with the lead over Jimmy Shane on the inside. J. Michael Kelly is on the outside. Coming off the exit pin, it's going to be J. Michael Kelly in the lead, and he's got air trapped under that boat. Look at it fly down the front stretch. The Graham Trucking looks beautiful with a half a rooster tail lead.
He is so light, and on the inside is Jimmy King, and in the tunnel is Jimmy Shane. He's driving down the hallway right now. A tough spot for Shane, and he got wet. He went outside. He had to move outside J. Michael Kelly. Tony.
Oh, and my goodness, the 3 just got up on top of his sponsor, and he is.
+6, +7, +8. You have got overlap.
Jimmy Shane now to catch up, but the 3 went way up in the air and just rolled right on the left sponsor.
It's a 5-lap final. Can Shane or King catch up with J. Michael Kelly, who is pulling away in lane number 4? Up into turn number 3, you pull it out of ports. J. Michael Kelly into the corner. Jimmy Shane just at the entrance pin, and now on the inside, Jimmy King to the entrance pin. As we get into the top end of the course, there's enough room now for J. Michael Kelly to move
That blue boat, get all the way out to that blue boat. Let it slide, let it slide.
For second place, Jimmy Shane on the outside, Jimmy King on the inside. Shane is going to lead as we come across the start-finish line. But look at J. Michael Kelly in the Graham Trucking. My goodness, he's already to turn number 1.
Yeah, he's coming down here. He's got a big lead. Tony watches line through the corner. Make sure he stays tight to the buoy row.
Whoa, big air under the 9.
He is right on the buoy line, as you called it, Red. But the race now is between second place and oh, they just got so close. The 3 nearly slipped.
Come on, get out of there, right here. Hold him tight. You got him.
My, oh my, they were so close as they came through number 2. And the 9 is coming up in lane 4 in 4th place.
Yeah, watch Andrew Tate trying to catch up with the battle for second place right now. But it's Shane on the outside. Look at Jimmy King, though, pull ahead on that back stretch. Up at the top end of the course into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Great run for J. Michael Kelly. He's at the exit pin at turn number 4. And then you've got Shane and King battling deck to deck, almost touching in turn number 4.
Wait, lock up, wait, let's go, let's go.
Big air underneath the 3 with Jimmy King coming down the front stretch. J. Michael Kelly in the lead by 3 rooster tails now, heading into turn number 1 at the bottom end of our 4-corner super speedway. Tony.
J. Michael Kelly, well out in front. He remembers what happened last year. He has a chip on his shoulder. The 12 is way out in front. And in second place, here comes the 3 out of the exit pin first. And the 1 still trying to catch up. But look at that Terminator go.
Look at the 9. The 9's catching both of them.
Doing fine. Just keep it on the water. You're gaining on Jimmy. Press the lights. Keep it on the water. You'll pick him off. He's still got lots of time.
Assessed at least so far. J. Michael Kelly, top end of the course. You pull it Auto Parts turn 3 into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 at the exit pin now. That battle for second place continues, but Jimmy Shane has fallen back by about a half a rooster tail at the top end of the course, and he's in the outside lane. Jimmy King at the exit pin at turn number 4. Now at the exit pin is Jimmy Shane in the 1. Can Andrew Tate catch Jimmy Shane coming down the front stretch? Watch the...
Keep it on the water. You're pulling it. Keep it on the water.
Boat down the front stretch.
Yeah, there's a great run coming for second place, but the man who has never won in the Tri-Cities but has come close so many times, J. Michael Kelly, is on the verge of doing it. But wow, what a roll, my goodness. Tate just about blew it over. The whole boat was out of the water. It just hung there. He's down, Tony.
And there goes the 3 ball. It's looking for second place, but J. Michael Kelly up there in the U-pulling Auto Parts turn 3. He's whipping those ponies. He's smelling a first place finish and the birdie tree for next year.
At the top end of the course, your race leader now, J. Michael.
11 is down. 11 is down. Lane 6, exit pin, turn 2.
By the way, the 11 is dead.
Wow, let's celebrate, pal. Beauty.
Turn. J. Michael Kelly onto the front stretch, walking it on the sponsor, back and forth to the start-finish line, and he will take the checkered flag. Jimmy King is coming into the second place finish, and now your battle for Shane is going to hold on for third place. How about Andrew Tate and the way
we see Jimmy Shane play the game the way he's been playing it all weekend, which is put that thing way on the outside, put the big propeller on it, wind it up, and get a lot of boat speed going and drive around everybody. So far, he's been able to make that work. If he can do it again in a preliminary, then you got to think that's the way they will approach the final. But you never know. There's some gamesmanship being played here. This is not a foregone conclusion about who's going to win the 2022 Columbia Cup.
Well, the one thing we haven't seen Jimmy do is make any kind of mistake out there. On the, the timing marks are just right. He's been in lane number 3. Sometimes you don't want to mess with success if you jump into a fight for an inside lane, maybe lane number 1. That's going to change where you need to be out there on the race course.
Yeah, and I don't want to try and think for Jimmy. I mean, he knows what he's doing, and certainly he's as good as anybody on the water. But he's even alluded to it himself that over the last 4 years he has not had perhaps his best starts, is an easy way to put it, here on the Columbia. I know he wants to hit the line with a lot of boat speed, and it looks like he's enjoying being on the outside, having a lot of room to play with. You heard him say it in that last interview. He's going to keep trying to hit that line better and better. He just wants to be there with a lot of boat speed because he knows he's got a lot of boat.
Well, and it helps you when you reach turn number 1. If you're out in front and you turn left at turn number 1, head over to that Pasco shoreline in the Tire Factory turn number 2, it gives you the opportunity to have the clear view of what's ahead of you. You're not trapped anywhere.
It really does. And talking about being trapped, if you've got somebody pinned in lane 1 and there's somebody close to that boat in lane 2 and you're out in lane 4 or 5, you've just got tons of room to play with. And you got spotters here on the tower with me that are going to tell you what lane's got the best water. Got a lot of flexibility when there's not a lot of boats going into that lower turn. We are at 5:52 till the start of heat 5. I'm walking up the pit tower, and I believe over the last hour, Mike Moore said, I think they've added 3 or 4 more steps to this tower. My goodness, this thing's getting taller and taller and taller.
We've got Tana Morissette helping us here at the Brunsman's Memorial Barge at the Mosteller Memorial start-finish line.
I know it. So we each have a Morissette on each end here helping us
and we're really fortunate to have them here.
Oh, aren't we, though?
So I guess the other question is, with our All-City Transmission Tech Update, Jeff Bernard in the 91, they had the electrical system issue. Do they feel like they have that solved and that they're ready to push away and fire it up? That's the big question.
They've had operator error and they've had mechanical error.
4, 3, 2, 1, mark. We are 5 minutes away from the start of heat number 5.
I look for the U91 to put together a good run this time. He's due.
Good news to start. The 91.
Hey.
91 is away from the dock. Jeff Bernard, Goodman Real Estate, starts to slowly spool up that Lycoming turbine, the beautiful black and gold Goodman Real Estate. Bernard is going to be the first up and on a plane. Going to be followed by teammate Jimmy Shane driving the blue and white in his home street. And as he did in the last heat, J. Michael Kelly in the 9 is just sitting at the dock. They haven't even pushed the nose out toward the center of the river. He hasn't yet tried to light the candle on the U9. The Lynx presents this Tri-Cities Lynx there, but you had both from Madison, Indiana.
Yeah, we get a good look at this team. It's always fun when teammates race against each other, but that doesn't make it any less competitive, of course.
How we saw during the day today. We saw the two of them. Jeff Bernard was able to hold off Jimmy Shane for a couple of laps before the blue and white boat finally got the better of him on the 3rd lap.
So the two Madison boats now heading up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. Schill Sun Market turn number 3. That's where you see Jeff Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate 91. And to the Apex and to White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4. Our Buffalo Brothers friends are up there.
Here comes Kelly. They're just pushing the nose out toward the river, and he is under his own power moving away from the dock.
So that changes up where he is going to want to be out on the race course, and we've seen him do this before, Brad.
Yeah, I'm not sure it changes it up for him. I think this is clearly the plan.
No, exactly.
Yeah, this was clearly his plan, and, you know, you always want to mix it up a little bit. Don't always let your competitors know exactly what you're going to do. So he's mixed it up a little bit. Here comes Jimmy Shane, hard down the front straightaway. Boat's so light on its feet, beautiful water conditions. His spotter will tell him there's a boat in front of him. That is J. Michael Kelly. Derek right in front of you, the blue and white.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly leading now these two other Madison boats, but even though we're still in the race before the race motion, it really looks like that Home Street boat and Jimmy Shane are just content to be on the outside. I don't anticipate them trying to get any inside further than lane 3 where they're at right now.
I don't either, Derek. I think you've got it exactly right, and Jimmy kind of alluded to it. They've run this big course setup as they talk about it, and one of the big components of that is the bigger wheel, the bigger propeller. Wind it up. It may not accelerate as fast as maybe another setup, but once they get it up to speed and he winds it up, it's proven to be really, really fast.
2 minutes and 8 seconds until the start of heat number 5 for the Unlimited. Oh, we've got an incursion in the Esco Electric infield through the DMZ. Is Bernard in the 91, Goodman Real Estate onto the front stretch, just in front of J. Michael Kelly. Down and down at the bottom of the course, Jimmy Shane in the home street's going to cut front to back.
Yeah, keep an eye on Kelly here. This might be a little interesting.
Minute 45.
I think Kelly would like to be on the inside, but I also think he's got to come all the way down now at a minute 40. I think they're going to have to come all the way down here to the bottom end, so I don't think Mike can move.
Watch the 80-mile-an-hour situation with the two boats coming down the front stretch.
I think they're going to be okay. They're inside a minute 30, have not yet got to the entrance pin. Bernard's going to get there in probably 2-1 mark. He is there at 1:20, so
could be good.
He'll have to play it a little bit close to the vest, Derek. He's going out a little bit wide, knowing Kelly's still outside of it.
Yeah, really is interesting to see this. We know Shane is going to be in that number 3 lane. So the question here is this jockeying for positioning between Bernard and J. Michael Kelly. And right now, everything seems to be holding as it has been the last lap or so.
Watch on the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch.
Shane had his foot in it for a while now. He seems to ease into a nice groove. He's been the most consistent, hitting the marks, scoring up, hitting the start-finish line right on time.
35 seconds. Heat 5 for the H1 Unlimiteds. Heading up the backstretch now, getting into turn number 3 for Sun Pacific Energy. The Shell Sun Market turn, Goodman Real Estate, and Bernard. Bernard puts his foot into it. 21 seconds to the start. J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2, and the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. On the outside, Jimmy Shane in lane number 3 in the 1, Home Street Bank. And the countdown is on to heat number 5.
4, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Good start. It is a clean start. The boat speed is on the outside, as it has been all weekend long. In lane number 3, it's Jimmy Shane in the home street.
It is Jimmy Shane in the home street. But let me tell you, you can throw a blanket across all 3 of these boats as they get down here. And again, with all the boats off to the left, it is you, Derek.
Yeah, he is just sailing, Jimmy Shane, that is, along the outside. He figured he might give up a little bit on inside that Tire Factory turn number 2 to either Bernard or J. Michael Kelly. But Jimmy Shane in that Miss Home Street still able to maintain what appears maybe a boat or 2-length lead.
And we lost J. Michael Kelly in the hallway for just a minute as they were coming through the exit pin at Tire Factory turn number 2. They're up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, and it's going to be the race leader on the outside, Jimmy Shane in the home street. On the inside, Jeff Bernard's going to edge in front of J. Michael Kelly. Kelly in 2, Bernard in lane 1. As they get to the exit pin of turn number 4, again, a boat to boat to boat, deck to deck to deck race right now. But on the outside, he's pulling away down the front stretch. It's Jimmy Shane in first place. Second place is Bernard, but J. Michael Kelly's going to challenge.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly is right with him. He's back by about a boat length, maybe 2, as they get to the entrance pin. Derek, coming to you. This is anybody's race.
Oh, yeah, call him deck to deck right now. I think he might take it in this turn. He is now in second, as far as I can tell, maybe half a boat length behind Jimmy Shane out in that outside lane number 3 as they work now along the Griggs backstretch.
Boy, those 3 boats were so tight at the exit pin of Tire Factory turn number 2.
Lap number 1, 154.546, 152 for the 91. They are cooking.
And it is the lead on the outside with Jimmy Shane, but J. Michael Kelly's holding on to that second place in lane number 2, just beside him. All of the boats will even up a little bit more as they get to the exit pin of turn number 4 onto the front stretch, but Jimmy Shane able to hold that speed around the outside of the course, and he has a half a rooster tail lead over J. Michael Kelly.
Lap 2,
can JMK challenge?
He's going to give it a go. He's back about half a rooster tail, as you said. Shane's starting to open it up a little bit, but Kelly's not going to go away. Shane to the entrance pin right now. Kelly's still right with him. He doesn't have a lot of room to work with, though, Derek. He's tight in that hallway.
No, this turn will be where he makes his move if he can. And again, nearly flawless performance, it seems, so far from Jimmy Shane. And now we're seeing Bernard try and creep up on that inside lane down the Griggs backstretch, potentially challenging for that second place position.
It is the final lap. Can J. Michael Kelly challenge in lane number 2 as they dive into the Shell Sun Market turn number 3 at the top end of the course? The race leader's on the outside. It's Jimmy Shane in the home street. J. Michael Kelly, he'll try to gain some ground at the exit pin of White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4. Onto the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane leading. Jimmy Shane's going to pull away for the checkered flag in heat number 5. He does it again in lane number 3. The checkered flag in heat 5. Jimmy Shane in the home street. Second place, J. Michael Kelly in the 9. That's the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities, and Goodman Real Estate. Jeff Bernard, the 91, finishes in third place.
Interesting note, gentlemen, the fastest lap turned in by J. Michael Kelly, lap number 2, 156. He was given the He was really given the U1 a run for its money there on lap number 2. He had the fastest lap of all of the boats over the course of the race.
And is our lap record here not 155?
Yeah, but it was 159 yesterday. We had that change up.
Yeah, the home street.
Yeah.
Had a 159 in competition yesterday.
So it's all in a state of flux, Brad. Breaking news.
I don't believe that record stood.
I was questioning that yesterday because it didn't seem right.
I think that lap yesterday was 155. I don't care if it was 168. That's the best heat of the weekend. That was some pretty good stuff.
No question. No question, but Jimmy Shane has done it again from lane number 3.
On lap 2, going into turn 2, it almost seemed like the first 2 boats in lanes 1 and 2 almost touched. That was some really cut and close on the corner.
Yeah,
I think J. Michael Kelly and possibly the
Bernard
strong entry there might have just sent a little note over to Jimmy Shane and said, you've been winning these things on the outside, but we're not going away. Charlie Grooms out of Miss Madison Racing Inc. That was the best heat of the weekend.
Brad, that was exciting. 3 of those guys, they're all good friends, but they all want to win, and it was good to see, and I hope the fans enjoyed that.
Yeah, we were just told the fast lap of the heat was lap number 2 by J. Michael Kelly at $1:56. He was moving.
He can move. He's there's no question about that. Mike's number 1, he's a great guy, but number 2, he's a great competitor, and that team is they're good friends of ours, but we love to race with them on the water. They're good guys, competitive guys, and you can trust them, so that's good.
And that 2-boat team, which unfortunately is down to a 1-boat team of Darrell Strong, is making all of you play real honest here and up your game each year.
I fully expect that out of Darrell as well as that bunch. There's a bunch of guys that have been doing this for a while, and they certainly know how to prepare a boat, and they're great competition as well as great friends.
Well, and we love this sport. You've been around it a long time. I, as a fan forever, as you know, I do this broadcast thing for one reason. It's just to get this pit pass so I can get up close to the boats. But we've got an awfully small field here this weekend. We came here with only 6 boats. Unfortunately, we lost 2. We're down to a 4-boat field. I know there's some concern among the good hydroplane racing fans that, wow, maybe the sport is starting to go away or diminish. I know there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes by a lot of really good people, of which you are one. Is there something you can tell us and make some of us optimistic that maybe this is an aberration and things are going to come back strong?
I would like to think that's certainly the case, Brad. That's what we believe. Our sponsors believe that wholeheartedly. Between the John Goodman at Goodman Real Estate and Mark Mason at Home Street Bank, they certainly have invested time, energy, and money into our program as well as the future of our sport. So they believe in it, and with cheerleaders like that, we certainly want to carry on that enthusiasm. We're very bullish about the future. We're certainly aware of ebbs and flows and those things. We're a family in this thing, and we kind of understand what the circumstances are that maybe the general fan wouldn't understand. We understand some of the circumstances behind some of the boats, why they're not here or why they're having some of the issues that they're having. So that in and of itself makes us be bullish on the future. Right now, certainly, if you look through the lens that you see on the water right now, it's a little, I don't know, but we certainly believe that time coming out of this COVID thing and us all getting a chance to really adjust. Darrell to run in 2 boats, me, this is my first year to run 2 boats. So there's a number of things that we really feel good about, and I think the fans should really look forward to a circumstance where if you look at the speeds and the times, when we do get the boats out there, they certainly perform well. That last heat, prime example, it would really make you believe these are awesome machines. They're fun to watch. They make for a good show and a good entertainment. Young drivers, guys who are friends, but yet really, really good competitors. And so there's a lot of good things to look forward to. To me, this is just one of those ebbs and flow things, and we're kind of hopefully in the bottom of this valley, and hopefully it won't be too much longer. As you said, yes, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. We just announced a new sponsor yesterday to help all the teams. So there are a lot of good things financially as well as otherwise that really make you want to feel good. And hopefully the fans are having a good time. Hopefully they're hydrating themselves well. That may be part of the issue as well. The 100 degrees. From Indiana, we're not accustomed to 100 degrees, but we're accustomed to 90 and 120% humidity. But irregardless, things are well in our camp. well in our sponsorship, and we think things are on the horizon for our sport as well.
I appreciate that comment. And from the standpoint of sheer boat count and numbers of boats in the pit area, it's not that there aren't boats out there. There are boats out there that, quite candidly, there's a handful of them that are still ready to run.
That's true. There are several boats, and I mentioned earlier, my comment, and without really getting into the nuts and bolts of it, there's a number of boats out there that, with little help, a number of different circumstances, a couple of guys are having some health issues that make it a challenge for them to really do this as they would like. But there are, a myriad of issues that just make it such that it's best for now that those guys get their stuff together and come back on another day. And that's fine with us for now, but we certainly want to do all we can do to help them make it work, make it so we can all come out and play and the fans can have a great show, because there's no question this is a great product with a bunch of young kids who really do a great job, and we want to support that, and I know the fans do as well.
Tell me if I'm going to paraphrase this whole thing and sum it up kind of correctly. To the fan here who might be a little bit disappointed in the boat count and maybe the show this year, don't go away. The sport's coming back strong. We'll be back stronger next year.
I wouldn't say be disappointed. I would say it's a great community. It's a great community event. I'd say have a beer, enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, enjoy what we've got out here. It will get better. The beers won't get any better, just more of them maybe will help you. But have a great weekend. It's a fun place to be and a fun thing to do, and we're really looking forward to the future in a big way. And we'll work through this, no question, just like we're working through running 2 boats.
Charlie, thank you very much for taking a few minutes coming off the top of the tower. You and I have been at this for a long time, me and the broadcast, but you working in the nuts and bolts. That's why I wanted to get your opinion. Let's keep building this up and make it bigger, faster, stronger always.
Well, Brad, I want to take a second just to thank you and your team at KONA and all the supporters, all the fans, all the people who come out and make this a fun event on the beach. That was one of the great comments that this new sponsor, RevChem, mentioned yesterday. Those guys are NHRA people, and they go to an NHRA race and they see a certain demographic and a certain circumstance in that particular arena, and they come to here and they just cannot believe how what a fun family event this type of thing is, and they're really looking forward to being a part of our sport. So those are the things that really make me bullish when you have new people come in and they really look at this thing from a lens that says, wow, this is a fun thing. And so with that being the case, the boat count makes me concerned, but it doesn't overwhelm me at this stage. I'm just looking forward to working through this and looking forward to 2023 at the Try.
Sounds good for me. We will look forward to another big community event in Madison, Indiana each year where you call home. I was there a few weeks ago. It does bring the entire community together. And to your point, it's not just a boat race. It is a community event.
That's right, and I think that's the air show. Kathy's got the air show here, and there's just a number of things. Traditionally, I'm sure there's a number of people in the Tri-Cities that make this a traditional summer event, and that's great. And we're glad to be a part of that, and certainly look forward to coming back next year once again. Hopefully under the Bernie tree. This is crazy being down here under here, not having that tree. I mean, wow. For an old man like me, it's a tough deal. But that's you got to earn that thing.
You do.
You got to earn it, and so we're trying really hard with Jimmy Shane and Jeff Bernard to get that tree back and kick Darrell down the road a little bit. But anyway, it's a great family event. Tri-Cities, thank you, all the volunteers, all the fans. We look forward to come again, and we'll certainly do our best to entertain you, and we'll all have a beer when this is all said and done.
Charlie Grooms, president of Miss Madison Racing Incorporated out of Madison, Indiana, thank you very, very much for taking some time and chatting with me here. You got your whole family here. It's a big family affair for you even.
Absolutely. All my daughters, my wife come, my grandson. It's a family thing, just like for all the fans here on the beach. And so let's all go have fun. It's all good.
And if anybody's waiting for an interview with Jimmy Shane, I'm sure my Glenn Boggan's been standing with him for 10 minutes, but it was important to talk to you, and I appreciate it very much, Charlie. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Jimmy's taught me a whole lot, and I can't think of any better guy to toss it to than my old buddy and my great driver, Jimmy Shane.
There you go. There you go, Charlie Grooms. Thank you very much. Glenn Boggan, if you got him down there, wire him up. Let's go.
Actually, he took a step out to go get some water and cool off.
Well, there you have it. Glenn, thanks so much for giving it a go.
Lane 2 is Atlas Van Lines. Lane 3 is Budweiser. Lane 4 is Squire. Lane 5 is the Tempest. And here they come. And it's Atlas Van Lines on his front, followed by the Budweiser. Atlas Van Lines first across the line, followed by Budweiser and Squire. Then it comes to the Old Bruno and the Frank Kenny Turtle. All 5 in the late side of the Tempest as they dive down the corner number 1 right now. Corner number 1. It's Atlas Van Lines on the inside with Bill Muncie. Atlas Van Lines followed by the Miss Budweiser, followed by Squire, then the Alberto, then the Frank Kenny Toyota, and then the Tempest. As they come off of corner number 2, the first time, and it's a 6-boat lead for Atlas Van Lines with Bill Muncie. But here comes Budweiser coming up in his rooster tail very quick. There's still about 4 boat lengths back. It's Atlas Van Lines down the back chute halfway down now in lap number 1. Lap number 1. It's the Atlas Van Lines by now 7 boat lengths over Budweiser is second. 3rd is the Squire Shop. 4th is Frank Kenny Toyota. 5th is the Alberto. And 6th is the Tempest. As they come to the apex of corners number 3 and corner number 4, it's still Bill Muncie in the Atlas Van Lines. Now has about a 7 boat length lead. We'll try to get the time difference as Atlas Van Lines coming off of corner number 4 to come on and complete lap number 1, followed by the Budweiser. Here they come as they come down and complete lap number 1. Here's the Atlas Van Lines. Here's the Budweiser. 3.5 second lead for Atlas Van Lines over the Budweiser. Squire is about 4 seconds behind them. And the Frank Kenny Toyota, followed by the Obudo and the Tempest. That's the way they go. 137 miles an hour with Bill Muncie, Jim, and this is shades of deja vu from last year when he did just this trick. Right now he's coming out over. We'll have to get the official from upstairs, but on our clock, 137 plus for the Atlas Van Lines. Budweiser's starting to catch up now as Bill Muncie slowed down a little bit. Budweiser starting to pull up with him on the back chute. But now Atlas Van Lines gets it going together again, and now has opened up about a 10-boat length lead over Budweiser with second. 3rd is the Squire. 4th is the Frank Kenny Toyota, Miss Madison. 5th is the Alberto, and 6th is the Tempest, and everybody's on lap number 2 now as they come around. Bill Muncie showing him the short way around the course of the Atlas Van Lines. What a surprise. Looks like he had some horsepower we did not know about. Bob Bashman, and he's going to give Dean Chenoweth a little run here, but it looks like Dean's got that locked up. Here, Scotty Pierce is very consistent. Hey, Milner has got those 13,000 on their feet again. Another big payday for the Madison. All right, the Budweiser's gone by. Here comes Squire. Budweiser has gone by and Squire. They're all on the last lap, the top 3 boats. The other 2 boats have been lapped. Tempest has been lapped. Also, no, only the Tempest has been lapped. The Atlas Van Lines is going dead in the water. The Atlas Van Lines has just come off of corner number 2 and is blowing something. Atlas Van Lines with Bill Muncie is going to have a taste. A bitter defeat. And now the Budweiser goes by with a half a lap to go. Shades of Evansville 2 weeks ago when it was the Budweiser going dead in the water with a half a lap to go. But look, the Squire Shop is going to challenge the Budweiser. It's not over yet. The Squire Shop. We're going to have a drag race. Inside, Atlas Van Lines is just calling water. And Chip Hanauer past the Budweiser. Jimmy's on the inside. Chip Hanauer is your leader. Bob Stiles happy. Chip Hanauer, your leader, Jim, as they come around. But here comes Dean Chenoweth on the outside. It's going to be a drag race. We'll have to call it. Off of corner number 4. Squire, Budweiser, side by side. They come on, take it loose. It's the Squire. Now the Budweiser pulls up. They're almost side by side. The Squire is going to win. The Squire wins. Squire, Budweiser, that close. Squire, Budweiser, that close. There wasn't a half a second between them. The Squire is the winner. Budweiser second slowly. He'll have to settle for 6th place after leading and driving brilliantly. And could he maintain, we'd have had, no doubt, a record. We still may have a record. You know, Jim, I got to tell you, I had the binoculars on Bill, and when he came out front window, his hands just went up in the air like, oh my God, brought him down. But you know, Dean Chenoweth had it there, and that Chip Hanauer just put everything that Jerry Zubich and that Squire Shop had in.
Well, I didn't make a very good start, and I thought I could move up on Dean if I kept the pressure up. So we just kept the pressure on. I tried to hide behind his rooster tail so he wouldn't see us until the finish. And luckily, we snuck in there underneath him in the last corner and beat him in the line. Okay.
How the hell is that boat run?
I don't know. Acme stayed together all day long, and I just got the best crew and the best crew chief, and Jerry Zubich and Dan Walters and Mr. Style, the owner. We're just a real solid team.
Cities for 98 years. Also thanks to Freedom Equipment Rentals, providing our lift in Tire Factory turn number 2 for Derek Maselli. Truly locally owned and operated in Pasco, they know that the work does not stop at 5, and they have the equipment to help you keep the job going. Freedom Equipment Rentals, let them give you the freedom to get the job done. FreedomEquipmentRentals.com. And there's a party going on in Pasco with Derek Maselli.
Oh, yeah, and I'm having a wonderful time on this lift. It's been flawless. I've always had this kind of like, I don't know how unrealistic or realistic of a fear it is of being stuck on a lift.
Oh, no.
But I have not had to worry about that at all this weekend. So that has been a phenomenal thing, giving me great peace of mind. And you can probably hear the music bumping again.
Yep.
Mike, over on the Pasco side here, moving and grooving. And we've got lots of folks along the shoreline, both directions from myself, of course, with some of those, the tents on the section of the left, and then further on down, lots of folks in between, heading off down into Wade Park over on the Pasco side.
Boy, they've done such an amazing job over the course. It seems like every year the Pasco side has something new, and it's always an upgrade of something that probably didn't even need it to be upgraded, yet they do it anyway.
It's just an unbelievable park and a great place to ride your bike or, you know, take a nice walk. They've got a great path over there on the Pasco shoreline.
And plenty of grass.
We'll take a timeout. Abe, special thanks to the Educated Cigar. They stock 600 different cigars, including everyone rated 95 and higher by Cigar Aficionado since 2010. Located inside, that is, Atomic Bowl and Joker's Complex in Richland. Open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. That's educatedcigar.com, the website. We'll be back. Vintage Boats next. News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com.
Oh, please. Visit ApolloHeatingAndAir.com. It's answering 3 simple questions. Apollo will send you an estimate. It's that easy. No promises. Yes. You're just a click away. Total home company. Apollo and online business. Revolutionizing the residential heating and air industry. ApolloHeatingAndAir.com. Welcome, Boat Race fans. Sandy's Trophies is your go-to trophy and awards store. Making memories that last a lifetime is what we do. Sandy's Trophies is your Walk Follies trophy sponsor. Sandy's Trophies is proud to support fallen soldiers, Northwest, and their Gold Star families. You won't believe what we can do for you. Serving the Tri-Cities since 1964. Stop by 800 West Lewis Street, Pasco, or visit us at www.sandystrophies.com. Friends, a reminder to make my place your place. It's your hometown for the 2022 HAPO Air Show and Gala. My place offers the best price right here in Pasco. Even before they win. Fans Columbia Distributing is the official malt beverage sponsor of the 2022 HAPO Columbia Cup and Columbia Beverage Show. Words like Corona Extra, Prix, or Lemonade, just to name a few of the tasty beverages brought to you by Columbia Distributing. Wait, sir? Yes, sir. I'm good. You had to put up with it all this time. Friends, HAPO is proud to be the sponsor of the 2022 HAPO Columbia Cup and Over the River Air Show. They're out here in Eastern Washington Credit Union, serving a diverse membership group of over 3,000 members. Their primary focus is on products and services that bring value to their members, while providing convenience through innovative banking solutions. Visit HAPO online at HAPO.org or stop by any of HAPO's 18 locations and let HAPO take care of your financial needs. Thank you.
finish line. But we have enjoyed the 4 vintage boats all weekend long. And they are set to push away, and at that moment, here they come. It looks like the Blue Blaster will be the first one out of the Lamson pits. And for Brad Luce and Minnie, this is what the memories are all about.
I'm sure there's plenty of folks up on that pit tower now. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Everybody. It looks like the Pay and Pack will be the second boat out.
Really going to want to get your cameras going on this, ladies and gentlemen,
The
both sides of the
Budweiser.
river. This is a photo opportunity for sure.
Yeah, and guys, I think we're going to get everybody but the Squire, so I think it's going to be a 3-boat run. I was off the tower when they did the countdown, and they said, yeah, I don't think the Squire's going to make it. I don't see him at the dock, and they're not out. So up the backstretch, you got the Blue Blaster Atlas Van Line, 73 Pan Pack, and that mighty 1980 Griffin Bud.
Over at Tire Factory, turn number 2, you're seeing the rooster tail from the Griffin Bud, Derek Maselli.
Yeah, hey, at least we got to see that Squire Shop and all 4 in action a couple times earlier this weekend. It really doesn't get much better than seeing those 4 go side by side. But hey, these 3 will be really fun here still to watch.
Guys, I'm just made it up to the top of the tower here. I've mentioned a couple of times that my broadcast partner from back east has come out here. He's in the Tri-Cities for the first time in
Jeff
30.
Ayler.
Jeff Ayler, the man, the myth, the legend. He's here. And Jeff, I know you're a big fan of boat racing, as am I. And what does it do to you to see these vintage boats on the water?
Well, Brad, like you and I saw them back in the day, but never in this future configuration as vintage. These were the trendsetters from 1973 to 1980. The Pay and Pack in 73, the Blue Blaster in 77, the Griffin Bud in 80. That is kind of what I call that second phase of hydro fever from the 50s and 60s. These were the second trendsetters.
Yeah, Derek, I think you had that comment earlier. Was this the halcyon days? Well, and Jeff maybe said it best, kind of the resurgence of it of the second time. But Michael McDonald coming across the line. They're all 3 hooked up. And of course, Michael couldn't hear a darn thing because...
No, I got you, Brad.
Okay, there you go.
I got you.
They're coming down here now. Jeff Ayler got that Griffin Bud. Oh, he's staying way wide, but man, it's loud.
Beautiful sight. David Williams does such a great job driving that Griffin Bud. You can tell even in vintage he's got some more ponies than the other 2 to the inside. But great to see the Blue Blaster back out here. Look at that yellow helmet inside the Blue Blaster. 2013 Gold Cup winner. Kim Graham driving the Blue Blaster. Brad talked to Kim before, and it's just gives him shivers every time he gets in that boat.
Yeah, he said he really loves it. I asked him what it was like to step over the cockpit and over the name of Bill Muncie on the side. And boy, to a boat racer doesn't get much bigger and or better than that. I think Jeff maybe said it best there when he said these boats, all 3 of them, when they hit the water, they were the state of the art of the sport. They were, if you asked what the fastest boat was on the circuit, it was that boat in its time. Michael McDonald, top end of the race course, got that beautiful Winged Wonder, 73 Pan Pack in lane 1. Griffin on the outside. Muncie's Blaster in the middle, bring them down.
All 3 boats deck to deck to deck at the exit pin of our White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4 over by the Buffalo Brothers Group. And I'm sure they're all at the shoreline right now, either taking video or snapping a photo, because this is something you just don't get to see every day. And now across the Mosteller start-finish line, the boat speed is on the outside with the Griffin Bud. David Williams will lead the boats down the front stretch.
Wow. Wow is about all of a certain vintage. That's all we can say. It's just so good. Oh, my. When that was Chenoweth on the outside and Muncie just inside of him and Mickey Raymond and George Henley in the inside lane. Wow, back in the day. Derek, you like that?
Oh, yeah. One thing to see, another thing to hear. I'm just enamored by the sound of these engines as they go roaring by. It's that Blue Atlas marginally in the lead, but here comes the Budweiser boat out on the outside now, giving him a run for his money.
Well, it kind of takes any guesswork out of the equation why they call these things the Thunderboats.
As they thunder up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, the Pay and Pack Looks really good. It's a shame that the Squire Shop couldn't make it out here for a final time.
It really is, because as we've talked all weekend, and I gave everybody the homework assignment, they had to go home and watch that 81 final heat here in the Tri-Cities, and we did our part last night. We watched it, and of course the winner that day was Chip Hanauer in the Squire Shop, and unfortunately he couldn't answer the bell here, or that boat couldn't, but boy, it's not taking anything away from this show.
And David Williams has done a really nice job on the outside, staying towards the outer course markers so everybody could get a good look at that Budweiser Griffin, the U1. It's coming down the front stretch, Blue Blaster in the middle, and then on the inside in lane number 1, the Pay and Pack. Coming down to all doors, turn number 1.
Yeah, here they come one more time. And you're right, David's kept that Griffin up against the insurance marker pretty much the whole weekend. And Kip is staying right with him on the outside, leaving quite a bit of room, although they tightened it up a little bit on the Pay and Pack this time. But one more time, Derek. Right now.
Oh, yeah. They've tightened it almost in unison. All three taking that turn in stride together, just as close as they've been pretty much all race long. We're starting to see that Miss Budweiser boat on the outside perhaps inch forward, maybe just half a boat length or so as they now work their way down the Griggs backstretch.
You know, David Williams has that Bud in the same position we see Jimmy Shane in the home street. And he's got the boat speed and he's got the skill to get around and probably claim the victory for this unlimited vintage heat. And our coverage thanks to Legends Casino and Hotel on KONA.
Hey, Brad, if you've still got your guest down there in the pits, ask, I'd like to get your thoughts about this too, Bill Muncy, when you're talking about crawling over the top into the cockpit over that name, Bill Muncy, the linchpin driver, it seems like, of the sport. What made him so good?
Well, he was just such a competitor. He never felt that he was out of any race. You always had to make, as drivers used to say, you had to make 3 plans for Bill Muncy. There was what you thought he was going to do, what he had done in the past, but then there was what he was really going to do. You never knew where he was going to come from. Yes, for the most part of his career, he had very good equipment, but he knew how to handle it. He also, and oh, Jeff is just dying to talk here. Don't worry, Jeff, I'll get your comment here. But the other piece I want to say about Bill Muncy was he was probably the largest ambassador the sport ever had, and apparently I just stepped in Jeff's mud puddle. That's what you were going to say, Jeffy?
You read my mind, Brad. Bill was not only the dynamic driver, but a tremendous promoter of the sport of unlimited hydroplane racing. He would drive boats and also do TV and radio broadcasts at the same events.
Oh, wow.
Like 1971, working for ABC's Wide World of Sports with Keith Jackson, and he'd done numerous other ABC sports events as well when they were on Wide World of Sport. Such the promoter, Rollins College graduate, and also, too, a good musician as well.
He was. I remember him playing in the Seattle pit area with Barney Armstrong's machine. And when the Atlas Van Lines had to pull out of the 1981 Gold Cup in Seattle, he was a Chip Hanauer fan in the Squire. He started wearing Chip Hanauer's stuff. He started wearing a Chip Hanauer shirt. And you're picking stuff off my head now. Apparently I got bugs coming on. But when Hanauer's boat was unable to make the final, they went out and represented them as best they could. He was the promoter. He was so good with sponsors and never turned down an interview.
Exactly, Brad. And wanted to mention the Pay and Pack. Dave Herensberger's passed away in recent years, and he was just such a dynamic owner as well. And, of course, from 1978 to 88, the Pay and Pack boat was in the hands of Miss Madison. And 1988 was the debut of the 5th Miss Madison hydroplane right here in Tri-Cities, built and designed by Ron Jones. Such history with these 4 vintage unlimiteds here this weekend. It's a shame we didn't see the Squire Shop out here on the last run of the weekend, but what a beautiful restoration job by the team at Harm with the Squire. It looks exactly like it appeared in Madison at its first event in '79 at the Gold Cup.
1979 Gold Cup. It was raining that day. Oh, by the way, you guys are, I don't know if anybody's listening, this is what Jeff and I are like at dinner every night. We just get started about boat racing and we just go on.
No, it's good radio, gentlemen. That's good radio.
I think they're liking it, Jeff. We're having it. Oh, he's ready to go again. Here he goes. What do you got?
One more and I'll quit, Michael.
Oh, no, you're fine. I would like to host you for dinner because nobody has to cook. You're talking all the time.
And Mike's, his ice cream sandwich is starting to melt up here, so please, you have the floor.
With the 81 Columbia Cup, Hanauer made that move, snuck inside Chenoweth in the Bud, and about 11 months later done the same maneuver at the 82 Gold Cup when Chip drove the Atlas and defeated Dean Chenoweth and the Budweiser in that miraculous wild-looking boat ride on the back chute in that brand new 82 Atlas. And then Chip went on the victory, and history tells itself.
History tells itself after that, and I don't think anybody who ever saw it will ever forget that run down the backstretch. It's the part of legends and lore of H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing. We could go on for a long, long time, but as Jeff Ayler just said, let's give one more shout out to David William and the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum, the board of directors down there, all of the volunteers. And if you think that would be fun to be part of that, you do not need to have any knowledge or any experience in working on these hydroplanes. They will find something that you can do. And Jeff, you're nodding your head. I am living proof of that. I went down there at a time when I was looking for something to get me involved with and keep me off the streets at night, if you will. And I went down and got involved in the restoration. It wound up with a 150-mile-an-hour boat ride on Lake Chelan one time in the 67 Budweiser. And anybody that's listening to this, you can go do that too. Get a hold of the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum in Kent, Washington.
And Brad, nobody more well-deserving than you, working on the 67 Budweiser and getting a ride in it. That's just such a beautiful boat. It's flat out phenomenal on that craft. But coming up later, we've got a great Grand Prix America heat coming up, and of course the H1 Unlimited final, and we still got work to do, or you do. I'm going to take a break.
He's going to go down and get something cold to drink. So anyway, guys, we'll toss it back up. Jeff and I, needless to say, we put the headsets on and get a couple of mics. We have a pretty good time.
Hey, thanks again. That was amazing.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. Jeffy, thanks, bud.
Jeff Ayler, thank you so much for coming. It's been way too long since you've been here the last time.
Exactly.
Well, really appreciate the insight.
Well, Michael, thank you very much. I've been so blessed to be a part of this sport, and I don't know what my life would have been like without living in Madison.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, and just a note, coming up, Tim Torrance contacted us once again from WORX in Madison, and they will be playing our final heat coverage.
Oh, that's right. That's when they join us.
96.7 back there.
And the reason he is at WRX, it's my fault.
Yeah, there's a whole story in
Oh,
there.
dear God. Everybody get dinner. Sit down. Let's hear it.
Oh, my goodness. If you can't have fun with this boat racing thing, don't do it. And Lord knows all of us on the broadcast here, and certainly Jeff and I, we have had our share of fun. And we go home and we start watching video and start talking and laughing. And, oh, man, it's a lot of fun.
And before you know, it's closing time.
Yes, before we know it, it's closing time. Well, we were talking last night, and I looked over at Jeff sitting next to me, and downstairs at my house, he's sound asleep. But he is on East Coast time, so I got to give him a little bit of a break.
That's true. It's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
You're not staying downstairs, Ayler. I showed you where the room was.
We're going to go to Shipley's for a cup of coffee.
Now we're starting to do the line. Oh, it's the lines out of the movie Madison.
That's
we're going to go
good.
to Shipley's and get a cup of coffee.
Well, our special vintage boat coverage on News Radio 610 KONA, thanks to Legends Casino and Hotel. Great entertainment is on the way with Trace Adkins, Daughtry, Lone Star, Kansas. They also have the Commodores coming up in September, Yakima Valley Bigfoot Con in October. All the fun is at Legends Casino and Hotel.
I got to just mention the Squatch, okay?
Yeah, no
the
question.
Bigfoot Con. It's October 22nd of this year.
As you can see, the Miss Beacon Plumbing is controlled by these flight controls, and they're controlled with my feet. So we've controlled them down the straightaway by keeping the boat off the water, which makes it fast, but not too off the water, which makes it crash. So then we get down to the corner, and when we turn into the corner, we want it to stay on the water, but then at the same time, as it gets partway through the turn, we want to add more lift or more up elevator in an airplane to keep the nose up and to make it go faster around the turn. And you can see that happening too. So it's a real integral part of how the Miss Beacon Plumbing runs and what makes it fast or not. So all this is real complicated, but without the help of Bill Cahill and all the employees of Beacon Plumbing, couldn't happen. Kelly and Sharon, support us. Bill Cahill supports them. Makes the whole world go round. And thank you, Seattle, for supporting Beacon Plumbing. They do a lot for us. They do a lot for the community. And looking forward to the race.
At the Mosteller Memorial start-finish line, we are getting ready for our countdown for the final for the Grand Prix America class. And we found out some information on that last GP race. The Charger, Rojas Racing with Kent Henderson. We couldn't figure out why all of a sudden the boat went dead in the water.
Right,
Kurt.
right.
Well, it turns out that they didn't put enough gas in it.
Oh, no.
So it wasn't a fuel flow issue. It was a no fuel issue.
It was a no flow issue.
Yeah, and
that's unfortunate. I mean, who's on gas detail down there in the pits?
Well, they know now.
Okay.
I'm sure that's been clarified.
We'll get them next time.
Yep. They'll make sure they have a full tank.
I forgot. I thought you were going to top it off, Lou. No, Steve, that was your job.
Well, they'll take care of that at your Shell Sun Market.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
So, I would imagine across the pond, Lake Wallula here, that backs up behind McNary Dam, Snake River's a little bit downstream. We've got the Yakima and, of course, the mighty Columbia, all pooling here at the
And you're correct.
Tri-Cities.
It is Lake Wallula.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, what are you talking about? We're on the Columbia River.
No, it's a series of lakes. They all have a name behind each dam, or a pool, called a pool. Because that's what the water does. It pools behind the dam. So if we head over to Tire Factory Turn number 2 and the Freedom Equipment Rental Lift, I would imagine Derek Maselli has a good view across to the Neil F. Lamson pits to see what's going on over there as we get ready for the GP boats.
Yeah, I'm seeing a few boats in the water. Looks like we got the 2 yellow ones and the orange. Is that the Bad Influence in the water? Also that Shell Hayes Racing one. And I'm seeing another yellow. Could it be that GP15 Happy Go Lucky boat?
Well, it's actually been listed as going to start, and it will be in lane number 3. So lanes are assigned for the Grand Prix boats, Grand Prix America. In lane number 1, you'll have the 12, and that will be the awesome Austin Egret entry, Shell Hayes Racing, Local 598, Plumbers, Steamfitters, Ice Harbor. And then in lane number 2, the 79 with Bert Henderson with Atomic Screen Printing on there. And if you haven't picked up your souvenirs from Atomic Screen Printing, get down to their booth. There's one near the pit entrance on the Kennewick side and one over on the Pasco side as well. And look at all the people in those private tents across the way. That's a nice crowd turnout on the Pasco Shoreline in Wade Park.
2022 is back in a big way for Water Follies, and if you caught any segment of the broadcast about 15 minutes ago, 2023 is a go, and the Water Follies will continue.
No question. Lane number 3 then will be the Happy Go Lucky, the 15, Overturf Volkswagen Kia Pump Tech ADS window film with Greg Hopp, and Bert Henderson in the 79. Check that. Then in lane 4, that is, it'll be the Charger, Rojas Racing with Kent Henderson, Pista Receipt Trucking, Jago Home and Trust Company.
Coming up on 3 to the 5.
3 to the 5. So 8 minutes away, and I hear action in the pits, Brad.
Actually,
Glenn?
what you heard, I think, was the motion of a crane, which is now gone quiet. But all the boats that you just ran through, lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4, they are all in the water. We are just about ready to go racing here. I think we have a countdown here to 1 to the 5. I think that's what we just did. We're just about ready to bring boats out. We're going to have 4 of them out here, and you guys are correct. There's 2 yellow ones, but there's also 2 kind of reddish-orange ones. So we'll watch them close. We'll make sure everybody knows who's who and what's what. But the guy that has had the weekend has been awesome Austin Egret. Can he finish it off? And we talked about how this racing format works with the GPA. The more you win, the further you get to move in, and you win your way in. And Austin Egret, with a great weekend, has won his way into lane 1. He has earned that lane. It's not some draw out of a hat. He has earned it. Now, can he close the deal? We know he's got boat speed. Can he close the deal and be the Columbia Cup champion for Grand Prix America at the 2022 HAPO Columbia Cup?
Does he have championship action in his pedigree? Has he won before?
This kid has won many before. Yeah, he's very, very well accomplished. He can get this done. He can get it done. The name Egret is synonymous in all classes of boat racing. There's been lots of them, and they are all related on some level.
And you're saying he might be the best of the bunch if early indications are to project future
Well, Greg Hop, he is, he's been driving for 100 years.
I know, it's Sunday. It's hop time.
It's hop time.
It's hop time on Sunday afternoon. I don't care what boat he's driving. Sunday afternoon is almost always on this river or this lake, whatever. It's hop time.
I would like to know how many times we have interviewed one of the hoppers with a win here in either the Grand Prix America or the Unlimited Lights back in the day. Very, very solid pedigree there. And if you want to talk about pedigree, the name Henderson just opens up a whole nother book, and you can just start going down that road. So these folks know how to handle the race boat. I tell you what, this GP10 down here, Kent Henderson's ride, the Pistoresi Trucking presents the Charger, and I love the way they call it the Freak. That is just a good-looking hydroplane. I really like that. It's got, now this is the colorblind guy telling you this. Yeah, great, right? You got black and white checkers on it. It's kind of predominantly orange/red, trimmed in yellow and white. That's a beautiful hydroplane.
Let's hope they have the fuel on board.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So we're going to go around the horn here.
Let's start in Tire Factory turn number 2. It is the local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters and Signatory Contractors finale for the GP boats, the Grand Prix America Series. Derek Maselli.
Guys, I don't know how you go with anyone else other than that GP12 Shelley's racing boat and awesome Austin Eckert. I mean, the kid's done everything that you could possibly do to prove that he deserves to be given the nod here, and that will be the pretty obvious and admittedly probably safe pick for myself here over at Tire Factory turn 2.
And powered partially by Ice Harbor, right? They've got the seltzer going.
At this point, it's more than partly powered.
There you go. Let's go back down to the pits and Glenn Boggin.
Here we go. First boat away, driven by a Henderson. Second boat away, driven by a Henderson.
Hey, Brad, what's your pick? He can't hear.
Probably can't hear.
Kurt, what's your pick?
Mike, I'm going to have to go. Well, since I'm learning about the pedigree of all of the drivers in this, apparently they were all groomed and made for this moment. So you're not going to psych anybody out. I'll just go back to hop time because it's one race. Awesome, Austin. Of course he's the favorite, but I got to go with Greg Hop because if it's a final and there's a hop in it, you better watch your rear view mirrors there, Austin.
So you're going to hop on the GP15 Overturf Volkswagen Kia PumpTech ADS window film boat with Greg Hop.
Hop on board.
Yeah. Before you go too far with that, he's still sitting at the dock. And there are 3 or 4 crew members on it. The lid is open. We'll keep an eye on it. We got to get him out here. 3 minutes and 50 seconds inside that now. But
Brad,
the hopper's still sitting at the dock.
Brad, your choice.
Eckert.
Yeah.
Con, I've been singing his praises since Guntersville. Yeah, I'm going with awesome Austin.
I'm going to watch Bert Henderson in the Bad Influence. Atomic screen printing. It's the orange boat, and it's coming across the Mosteller start-finish line right now.
All right, the lid goes down now on Hopper, so they're going to take a swing and start this thing.
All 3 boats coming across the front stretch.
And guys, also with regards to Greg Hop's ride, there is no rush down there. The guys, when they went to get off of the deck, they just slowly walked up. I'm not sure they had an issue at all. They might have just been playing the clock. 3 minutes, because he's up and out now. He's coming.
So the boat's now gathering over towards the backstretch. Austin Eckert will have that inside lane. That's a huge advantage for the local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters Ice Harbor GP12.
Here comes Hop, little gamesmanship.
It'll be Bert Henderson and the Bad Influence. Atomic screen print in lane number 2. Lane number 3 will be Overturf Volkswagen Kia PumpTech ADS window film. Happy Go Lucky with Greg Hop. And lane number 4, the Charger, Pistoresi Trucking, Jago Homes, and Trust Company. Clock countdown continues. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to the GP final. Cross start finish. Trust Company, Jago Home, Pistoresi Trucking, the 10. Or check that, he's just coming up the backstretch now. Rather, that was Bert Henderson now going into turn number 1 at the bottom of the course in the orange boat with the checkerboard.
Yeah, looking pretty good as far as I can tell over here. And I mean, just so much on the line right now. We know with that assigned starting position where you work your way in, everybody pretty much knows already where they're going to be. So now it's just a matter of getting that feeling for what it's like out on the water. We know the breeze has picked up a little bit, at least over here on the Pasco side, but it's still looking fairly smooth.
Agreed. Not much wind at all. Now we're watching Greg Hop at the top end of the course. He'll be in lane number 3 by assignment with 1:22 remaining. He'll have to go all the way around, and he's not to the start-finish line, so he's going to put the hammer down and get over to the Griggs backstretch. Oh, who's diving across the infield? It's Ekrit coming across to the front stretch. Needed to scruff off a little bit more time. He thought he was too early.
But the key to that whole thing is he can do that because he knows his lane will be waiting for him.
That's what lane assignments will do.
45 seconds.
Running side by side with Hop here around the turn into the backstretch.
Again, it's Ekrit in lane number 1 in the 12. Local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters in Ice Harbor. Lane number 2, Bert Henderson, Atomic Screen Print, GP 79. Lane number 3, Happy Go Lucky with Hop Over Turf, Volkswagen, Kia, Pump Tech, and ADS Window Film. And number 4, Pestarisi Trucking, Jago Homes, Trust Company, Kent Henderson, Rojas Racing.
15 seconds.
They are all at the top end of the course at the apex. Turn number 2. Lane
5,
number 1, Ekrit
4,
has good boat speed.
3, 2, 1.
It's a clean start. Watch Greg Hop in lane number 3. He's got the lead coming down to turn number 1. It is a good start.
Hop hopped that about as well as he possibly could on that start, but awesome Austin Ekrit on the inside keeps it real close to the buoy now, takes the lead as they now head along the backstretch running side by side, deck to deck.
What a great race out in front. It's the 2 yellow boats. Ekrit on the inside, Hop on the outside. Hop is back about 4 boat lengths, and a battle for third place heating up. It's going to be Kent Henderson and Bert Henderson fighting for that third place. Hop has fallen back in turn number 2, and it's going to be Ekrit with the lead across the start-finish line, heading down the front stretch. But here comes the speed with Ken Henderson in the GP10. He'll take away third place.
Yeah, coming around that turn number 1 now. Ekrit looking to be about 2 rooster tail lengths ahead, but Hop really guns it coming out of that exit pin of the turn down along the backstretch. It looks like he may be closing some distance there.
And it looks like Ken Henderson in the GP10 has lost a little bit of power. And look, it's Bert Henderson in the Atomic Screen Print GP79 regaining third place on the Griggs backstretch. Back to turn number 2. It's Austin Ekrit coming to the exit pin. Hop is on the outside. He's fallen back a rooster tail now with 1 lap remaining. Ekrit with the lead. Hop is starting to gain on him on the front stretch, but he's going to run out of room.
Yeah, they're coming into the turn here, and again, Ekrit keeping it close inside, as close as he can on that inside lane, not really giving up any ground on the turn there. If Hop's going to have a chance here, he's got to gun it coming out onto the Griggs backstretch. Meanwhile, with that bad influence boat behind in that number 3 spot, the 2 Hendersons battling for 3 and 4.
Yeah, they had a great battle out there, but unfortunately for Kent Henderson in the 10, he got bogged down. Turn number 1, that allowed Bert Henderson to pass him in the Atomic Screen Print 79.
Checkered flag's out.
Of the course. It's time for the winner. The local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters checkered flag is out. And your winner, awesome Austin Ekrit. Racing for local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters and Ice Harbor. Second place for Greg Hop, the Happy-Go-Lucky Overturn Volkswagen, Kia, Pump Tech, and ADS Window Film. Third place will go to Bert Henderson in the Atomic Screen Print GP79. And fourth place for the Charger GP10. Pestarisi Trucking, Jago Home, and Trust Company. Henderson in fourth place.
That's fun.
That was really good racing. I really thought Hop was going to be able to stay up and challenge Austin Ekrit, but Ekrit had the inside lane and just didn't make any mistakes.
It's his time.
Flawless racing.
Ekrit's time, absolutely. Although, you can always count on Greg Hop to give the fans a heck of a race.
And that's why they came out. I'm curious, though, why they waited a little bit to get out of the pit area. That was interesting.
Hey guys, let me jump in here real quick. I got boat owner Bob Shellhays with me. Congratulations, you pulled it off. That kid drove awesome all weekend and he got it.
Why do you think we call him Awesome Austin?
Go down there and go meet him. I'm going to follow you. That's where he gets his name, guys. This kid can drive.
The checkered flag for Local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters Grand Prix America final heat for awesome Austin Ekrit. Just a really well-run race.
It was. It was.
And all of the boats staged nicely. Obviously, they know what their lane assignments are, and their only job then was to hit start finish at full throttle.
And when Tana gave us the official heads up that it was a good start, that was the best start I've seen the entire weekend. I really thought he jumped the gun because my clock
was close.
It was at dead zero, and I thought just a little bit of this boat was across the line, so I didn't want to call it until Tana gave us the word. But yep, it was a I start. So
was that Hop that did that? Was that who you're talking about?
It was one of the yellow boats. I was just watching the clock and watching the. I didn't have the number on it, but whoever was there,
it was Hop in lane 3.
It was exactly. It was the best start finish line start of the weekend.
He had so much boat speed. He had that wound up. Oh, he was going to get everything he had. He just had to come on that big race course in lane 3, and that. Again, it's all about winning your way in, and he got a second place finish out of it coming from lane 3. But now the man of the hour down here is awesome Austin Ekrit. He's going to have to meet with a whole bunch of folks now, but he gets to walk out of here calling himself the 2022 Grand Prix America Columbia Cup champion. This is something really, really special.
Hey, Brad, what is the age of the young man?
I don't know how old he is. How old is Austin? Anybody here know how old Austin is? How old is he? You know how old he is.
He's old enough to win.
How old is Austin? 32.
Oh, he's just a whippersnapper.
He's just a baby. He's just a baby. Of course, you're talking to a guy who's 70, so I guess, yeah, 32. I remember those days vaguely. You did it. You did it. The kid did it. It's fun down here on the dock. Let me see. Here comes Mr. Hop. He's down there with a bottle of water. He's going to go down and congratulate awesome Austin, and he does so with a hug and so forth. I'm going to... Glenn, are you going to grab Bert when he steps out if he wants there, or do you want to... Oh, I got Bert right here. Bert, you had a lot of fun, little family racing going on there that time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had some for these guys, but we changed steering wheels, and the steering wheel came loose, so I was driving essentially with one hand.
Is that a problem?
A little bit.
I would think so.
Holding on and keeping the steering wheel, trying to keep engaged, and we definitely had some for those guys, but just that happens, and onward to San Diego.
Onward to San Diego, but it was sure good to see you out here this weekend, my friend. This is a lot of fun.
I love this place. Tri-Cities, you guys have the best fans, and you guys know how to put on a boat race. Thank you for having us, and we hope to definitely see you next year.
And I want to see you in that big boat.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. All right, Bert Henderson, thank you. Be careful going home, my friend. Bert Henderson. We'll go down. Oh, I think Glenn Vaughan is stepping down, and I think he's got Greg Hop.
We do. Greg, boy, what a great finish for the GPs. What'd you see out there?
Yeah, that was a barn burner of a final. I knew we had our hands full out in lane 3, so I put the Overturf ADS Pump Tech boat out. I beat him to the first turn. That was my job, right? And then that Shell Ace boat is just so darn quick, and we could run with them, but I couldn't pass him, and so I held in there to the very end. Better end, I had a walk condition, and we were running deck to deck, and the 79 boat, I'm not certain what happened to it, but I know he was in there real close at the first turn.
It seemed like you were running really fast out there, but being in lane 3, was that much of a detriment?
Yeah, out in lane 3, you just give up so much ground, especially in that first turn. I came in with a whole ton of boat speed, and again, the boat was running phenomenal. And from lane 3, it was just too much of a sword to swing.
How would you describe the entire weekend for the team?
Well, this was great. We went back east and we struggled. We blew up 2 motors in one weekend and then put one back together and struggled in Madison. And we ran the same motor all weekend. We would have probably won that heat yesterday, but our blower went away. Put a new blower on it. Back in the saddle again. Boat ran flawlessly all weekend. This is our motor we lovingly call Happy for Bill and Happy ran. Happy passed away earlier this year, so we're running it in memory of her. And this is a great finish. The team's all elated. We got some momentum going into Kentucky and San Diego.
Well, Greg, hey, thanks a lot for putting on a great show. We all enjoyed it. That was a great way to finish the GP weekend.
Thank you. I need to shout out to Julie and Tommy and Angie from Pump Tech. They've been with me forever, and they're all here watching this race. So
Time for the winner-take-all Columbia Cup Regatta Final. 90 degrees is the air temperature. It feels like 97 degrees as we get ready to go racing. Boats heading out on the water, including the 5 of Jimmy Shane. Remember last time out, all that damage to the rear of the boat? I talked to his crew chief, Tom Anderson, during the repairs. Tom, I know you're in the middle of this thrash, but tell us about the damage and the repairs you've made.
Well, basically, he just hit a hole out there that was hard enough to just pop everything we've got back on the rear tail feathers and the wing. They just all blew right off the boat. But we carry spares for it, so the Graham trucking's going to be just as good as new for the final.
And the final begins long before the green flag. Watch the boats as they troll toward the 1-minute buoy. 3 stories to watch for. They'll walk with the gearbox incident earlier today. Jimmy Shane coming off the repairs after his 3rd heat, and Steve David jumped the 1-minute buoy here last year. A heavy penalty cost him the win. On board with Dave Villwock.
Bill, with this move right here that I can see coming up, this is going to be a wicked final. Look at this. Wow. You've got to have 30 feet in between these 2 boats, or you can just make your own lane.
And it looks like Villwock put out his own fire there going through that rooster tail.
I'm afraid he did. That was just too much water for that engine to consume.
You cannot pass the yellow score buoy before the 1-minute mark. We're just about there. Looks like Steve David's early.
Look at this, Bill. I've never seen anything like that. Jimmy Shane had to go outside to make sure he was legal. And I don't know if Steve David had the 5-boat overlap to come over.
Gonna have to wait for the official call from the referee in the helicopter high above the Columbia River, but it looked like Steve might have been early. Now down the backstretch as they get in their lanes. There's a look at Jimmy Shane on board the Graham Trucking, looking for his first career unlimited hydroplane win. That's 2011 Rookie of the Year, Scott Liddicoat in the Degree Men. 30 seconds on the Peters and May countdown clock. We can see Villwock has caught the field. He's got his lane. That's on board with John Zimmerman. He's trying to catch the field. He's way back. That's on board J. Michael Kelly. Has the inside lane in the Beacon Plumbing. Gonna bring the field around. 13 seconds to go. It's 6 boats for 5 laps on a 2.5-mile course. Remember how rough turn 1 is. Villwock and David have combined to win the last 8 races on this course. Toward the green flag. All boats are good. The start is legal. They charge toward turn 1. Hang on tight.
Look at this shot, Bill. When they get down to the end of this straightaway, they're going to be pushing 200 miles per hour. This is what you call hauling the mail.
J. Michael Kelly, 1 career win in Doha in 2009, has the inside lane. Steve David waiting to find out if he was early. Look at that.
That's exactly where you want to be, Bill. You want to keep that spray just on the left-hand side of that windshield, staying off the rooster tail to your right.
On board with race leader J. Michael Kelly. That's Jimmy Shane. He runs second. He's in lane 3. Kelly getting some air.
Yeah, a lot of air back there, Bill. He knows he's in contention to win this thing. He's not going to back out.
Still waiting for word on whether or not the 6 was early, and you know these 2 guys are probably hoping.
That's exactly right, Bill. They're sitting there hoping that somebody on the radio is going to tell them that the 6 has gone before the 1-minute pin.
And we have received official word Steve David was early at the 1-minute buoy. He will have to run an extra lap. So this is now the battle for 3rd. Dave Villwock looking at Scott Liddicoat. Villwock in the Spirit of Qatar, Liddicoat in the Degree Men. Right next to each other, on board with Villwock. Whoa!
You don't think he's trying to win this race, Bill? He just stood it up on its end about halfway down the track.
There was no water at all. It was just front end of the boat in the air.
No, when you can see that much sky for that prolonged period, you know you're in trouble.
On board with your leader, J. Michael Kelly. You see Steve David racing out front, but he's been penalized a lap. Here's your battle for 3rd. Villwock taking the position from Liddicoat, who catches some air. Racing all over the Columbia River. On board now with Vilwak in the Spirit of Qatar. He's got a long way to go to catch the leaders, but if anybody can do it, he can. Jimmy Shane in the Graham Trucking trying to catch the leader, J. Michael Kelly.
And Bill, by now, his team has already told him, look, this is the lead, this is the battle. Worry about the boat that's next to you, the one that's out front, let him go.
That's the Graham Trucking of Jimmy Shane. To his left, J. Michael Kelly, that's for first. Steve David runs ahead of these two, but has been penalized. He'll have to run an extra lap. He's not a factor in this race right now.
Now, what's difficult here, Bill, is you got to decide what you want to do. Do you want to get inside of Steve David and get clean of water?
There goes the cowling for the second time off the 37. Now, once again, Mike, that shouldn't affect the handling of the boat.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't affect the speed or anything. It should be just fine. It's pretty much cosmetics.
He won a preliminary heat after the cowling left during that heat.
And getting back to my point, Bill, Steve David could have a tremendous effect on the outcome of this race. Jimmy Shane on the outside has to determine, does he want to go inside of Steve David or stay where he is? On the other hand, J. Michael Kelly on the inside knows that all he has to do is hug the buoys and keep it the shortest distance around the race course.
They both got rough water, but Jimmy Shane's going to have rougher water.
He is going to have rougher water, but you can see what he's already doing now, Bill. He's hugging it as close as he can, but yet keeping his propeller in clean water.
And for Steve David, his point is, well, I may have been early, but I'm going to show you what I got in this boat.
Yeah, he's just flat out showing him that he could have won this thing. It's a shame he had to go out that way.
For the lead, Jimmy Shane has the advantage, but J. Michael Kelly has the inside lane through that rugged turn one.
Jimmy Shane almost putting it up on its side there as well. Just about everybody's had problems with this corner.
And here comes Vilwak in the Spirit of Qatar. Can he catch the two leaders? Going through the field, there's Scott Liddicoat in the degree man. He's fallen off the pace. John Zimmerman finished fourth in Detroit, was hoping for better things here, but he's had a rough afternoon in the final. And there's Steve David, was early at the 1 minute buoy, will have to run an extra lap. He's in front of the field, but he is not the leader. On board with the leader, J. Michael Kelly in the inside lane. Here comes Jimmy Shane again.
Look at these two closing the gap on each other, Bill. Steve David is out of the way enough now that Jimmy can start to come over. And look at these guys just flying these things.
And this is why you have to come see an unlimited race, 200 miles an hour. It will take your breath away.
Here we go, Bill. What do you think they have left to deal with? One of the worst turns that we have in all of racing. Down in this first turn, they know they still got to get through here. There's no painted lanes on these waterways, Bill. These guys are just doing everything they can to get through there as fast as they can and as safe as they can.
And you're hoping your boat doesn't skip out one lane.
No doubt, Bill. We've seen it all day long here.
Half a lap from the finish. On board with J. Michael Kelly, looking at race leader Jimmy Shane. That boat in front of him, Steve David, has to run an extra lap. Not a factor in the race for the win, but he could determine the water conditions as they come through the final turn.
So J. Michael has to hug these buoys as tight as he can. Jimmy Shane has to hug that rooster tail of Steve David as tight as he can. But this right here, Bill, this is exactly why you strap in as a driver. It doesn't get any more exciting than this.
Out of the final turn for the final time, J. Michael Kelly right there, one career win. On his outside, Jimmy Shane looking for his first career win. Coming to the finish line, checkered flag in the air. Oh, looks like Jimmy Shane just got him. Shane is the winner. I don't think he knows. We'll go back and tell him.
The 2012 Air National Guard Hydroplane Series has been brought to you by Air National Guard. Visit goang.com to learn more about exciting opportunities in your area. By Whispering Turbines, where life begins at 200 miles per hour. And by Peters and May. For professional management of your worldwide boat transport and logistics, remember Peters and May.
Well, fans from the Tri-Cities of Kennewick, Pasco, and Richland, Washington are heading home after seeing one of the most amazing races in the history of the Unlimited Hydroplane Series. This was deck to deck, right to the checkers. Jimmy Shane on the outside, both drivers flying their boats, and it's Jimmy Shane, but not by much. Here's Mike Allen.
Jimmy, I think you got everybody standing on shore here. They said you're supposed to be a rookie, but I don't think you are. That was amazing.
You know, I went out there with all the confidence in the world, knowing that the crew did their job. They repaired the rear wing right on that last heat before the final. I knew everything was going to be set up just the way that it was before. And I went in there thinking, you know, we can do this. I went in there with full confidence and knew I had to get a good lane. Lane position was key to this final. And that's what I focused on.
Huge win for Jimmy Shane, not eligible for Rookie of the Year, but his first full year in an unlimited. And his winning margin over J. Michael Kelly, 0.2 of 1 mile an hour.
J. Michael, that was a battle from start to finish. How close was it?
Probably a foot, if that. You know, it's pretty tough, though. Just, you know, not very many come your way when you get an opportunity to win. You know, you got guys like, when you're racing against guys like Bill Walk and Steve David, who, you know, pretty much dominate all the time. But, you know, I would have liked to have had to win, but at least I got beat by Jimmy. I like Jimmy. I think he's a great driver. I think he's obviously shown it these last 3 races.
Dave Villwock leads Steve David in the driver points after 3 events. Check out the team points on h1unlimited.com. Now about Villwock's run in that final heat.
We just got flamed out again. You know, it's just, we're going to have to change the inlet system and stuff like that, because it's in a good place there. And, you know, we had the Alberto on our hip, could have ran the other guys down from that place, you know, in lane 3, but thing just flamed out. So we'll make some changes this next week and be ready for Seattle.
Jimmy Shane and Mike Kelly congratulate each other. Meanwhile, Mike Allen is with a disappointed Steve David.
Steve, take us from your spot.
Yeah, I'd really like to see the video. I mean, everything really fell into hand for us, and we had so much speed on everybody out there. But I'd really like to see the video because, well, I'd just like to see the video.
And he will. That's Chief Referee Mike Noonan on the right explaining things to Oberto team manager Charlie Grooms. They're disappointed, but the fans loved what they saw.
They loved what they saw, Bill, for 2 reasons. Number 1, that was one of the most exciting finishes ever. And number 2, the future of the sport is here, Bill. We just saw 2 young guys give it their all and do one heck of a job.
Open everybody is to be interviewed down there.
Right.
They're willing to participate with us, and that helps out the broadcast immensely. Wallowa Lake Tramway, the first time we ever had a tow rope sponsor. You know, I think riding up the tram is a more pleasurable experience than having your boat towed back to the pits, because that means something went wrong.
Exactly.
But Wallowa Lake Tramway, Mike and everybody up there, it's a lot of fun. Look forward to visiting coming up in September. Deidre and everybody at Legends Casino and Hotel had a great time. Tesla concert. First time we had a chance to see their concert venue. Here's what's coming up at Legends. Trace Adkins, Daughtry, Lone Star, Kansas, the Commodores, Yakima Valley Bigfoot Con. All right there at Legends, and it is a top shelf concert venue.
And it's the beautiful thing about the sponsors as well. So many sponsors make our broadcast possible. New sponsors, you'd mentioned a couple brand new this year, and some that have been with KONA for decades.
Yep, like so the Rooster Tail Wrap-Up Show. We've covered all of the action here, and we have one final heat left to go. And the countdown is on. We're inside the 5 to the 5. We'll head back down to the pits here in just a minute to get the table set for our final heat. But the Rooster Tail Wrap-Up will condense everything that we've done today and bring it to you with Frank Cooper back at the News Radio 610 KONA studios, thanks to Gravis Law Personal Injury Attorneys. Thank you so much for being on board. Let's head down to the pits now. We need to work our way around the Columbia River course for the final time for 2022 HAPO Columbia Cup. Let's go over to Derek Maselli, Tire Factory turn number 2, and the Freedom Equipment rental lift.
Yeah, lifted up high right now, looking across the water here from the Pasco side, and it looks like we're seeing quite a few different boats in the water, guys. I'm squinting from up here. Next year, I'm going to bring some binoculars, and maybe that'll be a little bit easier.
Go to Greg's.
Yeah, I'm seeing bright yellow in the water. I'm seeing some blue and white, and am I missing one down there, guys?
We've actually got 4 boats in the water right now.
All right, well, that shows you.
We've got the 9, the 1, the 91, and the 11. So
we've got a full field of 4 for the final. That's awesome, Glenn. So, Derek, what do you think?
You know, it's real hard to go against that U1 boat right now. I don't want to be accused of picking the favorites here. I did the same thing in the Grand Prix with Austin Ekrit and that beautiful boat. But, I mean, Jimmy Shane has just been flawless, and that boat has been flawless throughout what we've seen of it taking first in every heat that they've taken part in so far this weekend. I see no reason that would change.
Perfection continues?
I would think so, but, I mean, you can never truly count out J. Michael Kelly. I mean, hey, look, he took that first heat in which Jimmy Shane and the Home Street boat were not involved, and he's been second ever since. So he hasn't been that far behind in the U9 Lynx Miss Tri-Cities either.
Back down to the pits and our American Radiator pit reporters, Brad Luce and Glenn Vaughan.
Well, I'm going to concur with a lot of what Derek said. I think it's hard to go against Jimmy Shane, but I will give you two numbers, and Derek alluded to one of them. J. Michael Kelly is the only other driver out here who's gotten a number 1 to this weekend, so that must be kept in mind. And let's also remember in that fifth heat, he ran 156. So he's got this thing timed up pretty nicely right now, and he's got some speed. So the question is, will the number 1 stay on the outside, or will we see him go inside to try to get in front of everybody quickly? I think J. Michael Kelly's due for a good run here.
Interesting thought about the lane position and the milling period. Let's go back down to the pits and Brad Luce. Your thoughts for the final heat?
Yeah, thoughts on the final heat. I'll tell you what, I think you only get one opportunity on the weekend to pick the favorite, and I did that with Awesome Austin. So I don't know if I can pick the favorite here in our H1 Unlimited final. I think Jimmy Shane goes to the outside. He's been there since we started testing on Friday morning. He qualified out there. He's run all his heats out there. And J. Michael Kelly has been sticking that thing on an inside lane. I think they've got a surprise for Jimmy. J. Michael Kelly finally gets the win he didn't get a year ago.
Wow.
How about that? We'll go out on a limb.
That's interesting.
You notice there's no money involved, right?
No, none at all.
Or did I didn't miss that part, did I?
No, it's all conjecture.
There we go. Yes.
Kurt Cartier.
Well, this is going to be probably controversial, but I think the perfection so far of Jimmy Shane comes to a crashing halt. Not a crashing halt. That's a bad way to put it. I think he's going to go under 80 miles an hour. I think he's going to go outside of a buoy. I think he's going to jump the start.
There's going to be a mistake.
It's going to be a cascade of mistakes for the U1. All right, I'm going with Jimmy Shane. Are you kidding? The way that guy's been performing, he's a machine, jerk.
I'll tell you what, though, you bring up a good point in that Jimmy Shane has at times been his own worst enemy.
Well, you're right.
Thanks, Derek. I needed that.
But I don't think it's going to happen here.
Well,
Not at all.
One thing I'm going to say on this with regards to Jimmy Shane, the last 4 years here, he has not had a good start. He's been late and he's been shoved to the outside. I think this time he's just going to wind it up as he has all weekend, put it on the outside. I'm going with Kelly just because I think maybe they've got a surprise for him. But we're about to find out because we are inside 5 minutes to the start of the 2022 HAPO Columbia Cup. J. Michael Kelly says, thank you very much. I want to get out of here first, and he is gone in the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities, the U9. JMK's away first, and then it is a beautiful shot of 3 hydroplanes coming out side by side by side. The Goodman Real Estate U91 with Jeff Bernard, and it is Jimmy Shane in the blue and white, the Miss Home Street, followed by the U11 Jokers Casino, Jamie Nielsen. That had to be a good view coming across your way.
Yeah, and you weren't kidding, Brad. J. Michael Kelly really shot out of there, which is interesting because more often than not, I think we're used to seeing that U11 Miss Joker Casinos boat and Jamie Nielsen get the jump out of the pits.
By the way, David Schick texted he's going with the 11 Jamie Nielsen Jokers Casino. Thanks, David.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's not on a limb.
Yeah.
That would be a huge upset.
I think so. I think the perfection with Jimmy Shane continues. And Brad, you're right. The last 2 times with a full field, Jimmy Shane found himself with nowhere to go, right? And even washed down the 11 with Tom Thompson. Remember that?
I certainly do.
This time it's not a full field. He'll have plenty of room to settle in wherever he wants, and I think he can win in lane number 4 if he gets pushed outside.
I think he can too, and I think some of it may be, number 1, the start that J. Michael Kelly might get on an inside lane of him, and then how much speed is between Kelly and Shane. If you get Shane on the far outside and maybe you get a Jeff Bernard in lane 3 who may occupy our friend Mr. Shane a little bit. We're all just talking in the hypothetical here, but right now that blue boat is the favorite. He's quick. He hasn't been able to win here, and he wants it badly.
Jimmy Shane's at Tire Factory turn number 2 heading to the Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, and he's been loving it again outside. Maybe moving a little more inward now, back and forth, but no reason to suspect that that's ultimately where he'll start the race.
Hey, Brad.
Yes.
Penny for your thoughts.
Penny.
Winning every single heat this weekend and not doing especially well in the Tri-Cities the last couple of years, does that put additional pressure on Jimmy Shane, or is that not even an issue outside of what we're talking about right now?
I think if there is any additional pressure on Jimmy Shane, he is putting it on himself. I don't think the team is at all. Jimmy, just in the conversations I've had with him this weekend, and I've had a number of them, you're able to parse a little bit of what he says. He's very well aware of the issues he's had here over the last few years. He wants to get this right. I think if there is pressure, it's from within.
He had been near the inside of the course around the last lap, but at the top end of the course, he's now moved out wide. Now he's going to come back inside, but we've got the Goodman Real Estate with Jeff Bernard jumping across the Esco Electric infield to claim lane number 1. We're at 1:55 to the start of the HAPO Columbia Cup final heat. Hydro race fans in the Hydro Cities, are you ready? A championship is going to be crowned. Bernard down the front stretch.
Oh, watch this. Watch this. Oh, that's right. That's Shane. He doesn't care. He's going to cut, and then he's going to come back. Jeff Bernard is early. Jeff Bernard is going to have to go real deep down here. He's at 1:33 when he got down here. He's going all the way to the course markers. Derek, watch him.
Oh, yeah, all the way outside, making the most of this turn, swinging about as close to the outside of the course as he can here.
Jimmy Shane, meanwhile, jumping back through the Esco Electric DMC across to the front stretch with 1:09 remaining on the clock.
I'm not understanding this move.
Well, it's okay. Shane's going to
He's fine.
He's going to cut the course down here. He's fine. Watch Jimmy. He'll hang a left here and watch those buoys. Wait for it. There he'll go. Now he'll move to the outside. Keep an eye on Bernard and his speed. He's got to stay over 80 miles an hour. JMK is in good shape sitting in lane number 1. You got him, Michael.
Is Jamie Nielsen going to allow Jimmy Shane to settle into lane number 3?
I'm not sure Shane would even take it if, well, of course he's going to now. Look at him, he's going to go inside.
I think you're right. That's exactly what happened. Nielsen did not want to move into lane number 3. He's going to stay outside.
30 seconds. 30. Mark.
So in lane number 1, Goodman Real Estate with Jeff Bernard. Lane number 2 will be J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Lane number 3, Jimmy Shane in the 1, Home Street. And the outside, it's going to be Joker's Casino, the 11, with Jamie Nielsen with 12. 10. You got it, Brad.
Nope, go for it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They're a little bit early. Bernard's backing up throttle. 2, 1. I think Bernard was early, but Jimmy Shane is going to be the race leader heading down the front stretch. He's going to try to hold off J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it from lane number 3. Kelly's back behind him, and he's on an inside lane, but I'm sure Shane's going to give him plenty of room. Coming right at you, Derek.
Oh, that he is. I mean, Shane gunning it through the turn. J. Michael Kelly not that far behind, maybe a boat or 2 length between, and now you've got that Miss Joker Casino boat number 3, and Jamie Nielsen coming down in 3rd after Bernard, of course, with that early start.
He jumped.
Yeah, he did. We knew that at the start-finish line. It's clear that he did. So it is under official review. The race leader is Jimmy Shane. He's in lane number 3. He's been there all weekend long. Now, the difference here is, Brad, it's a 5-lap final. 5 laps. He'll have to hold off J. Michael Kelly on his inside. Onto the front stretch. Completing lap number 1, Jimmy Shane with the lead in the home street. Second place, J. Michael Kelly. He's passing Jeff Bernard. Bernard's on the inside in lane number 1. Jamie Nielsen is coming across start-finish line in 4th place right now. Back to turn number 1, Jimmy Shane, the race leader, and I don't know how J. Michael Kelly can chase him down in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities.
Now, Kelly's giving it everything he's got, but I'm telling you, this is a tall, tall order because Kelly's still got to be careful with Bernard in there. Even though Bernard's a lap down, officially having jumped.
Yeah, and Jimmy Shane again maintaining he's got about a rooster tail length lead, at least heading along the Griggs backstretch. It is interesting, though, seeing him in lane 3 instead of 4 with Jamie Nielsen opting to take that outside lane. Whether or not that's going to play into the comfort level or timing for Jimmy Shane really doesn't seem that way now as they head into Sun Pacific Energy turn 3.
Now ready to complete lap number 2 of the HAPO Columbia Cup 2022. Thanks to HAPO Community Credit Union. On the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane in the 1, Home Street. Across the start-finish line, unfortunately, we are not getting our speed monitor. We don't know the lap speeds. Across now is J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. And then in the Goodman Real Estate, Jeff Bernard in the 91.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane's already down here, and now J. Michael Kelly has moved to the outside. He had enough of trying to fight that slop on an inside lane, but now he's driving a much bigger course.
Yeah, and again now technically a lap ahead of Bernard, but that's still a boat that he's got to watch out for as he now tries to pass Bernard in the U91, going on the outside, trying to keep pace as best he can with Jimmy Shane.
So J. Michael Kelly was a little bit tired of being inside the tunnel there and decided to bounce outside a little bit to get some cleaner water and a cleaner look. It's lap number 3 for the HAPO Columbia Cup into White's Finished Furniture and Hardwood's turn number 4. Our Buffalo Brothers friends at turn number 4 at the exit pin. It's the race leader, Jimmy Shane in the 1, Home Street Bank. Miss Madison coming across the Mosteller start-finish line now.
And it's really a shame that the 91 jumped to start finish, because we would have had we could be having a heck of a boat race for second place, but unfortunately with jumping the gun, it's a lap down.
Yeah, Shane's down here right now. He's got a 2.5, 3 rooster tail lead over J. Michael Kelly. I think Kelly's throwing in a towel on this one. If we know that Bernard has jumped the gun, so does Mike.
It's amazing how strong Jeff Bernard has continued to run, especially through the Slop and Tire Factory turn number 2. Wow, that boat was hopping out of the water. Up the Griggs backstretch into the Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3. The race leader, Jimmy Shane. He'll have about a lap and a quarter left to complete to take the checkered flag. The final heat for the HAPO Columbia Cup. Out of turn number 3, into turn number 4. Jimmy Shane to the front stretch. The boat has looked just absolutely perfect all weekend long.
It's been a
no
flawless
exception
weekend
here.
Flawless weekend. 1 lap to go. The white flag is out as he crosses the start-finish line.
Jimmy Shane, the race leader in the Home Street, Miss Madison. Boy, Jeff Bernard, he just won't go away, even though he jumped the gun at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Shane's not going away either. He's just going away from everybody here. However, Derek, bring our leader around.
And he is coming around Tire Factory. Turn number 2 now, bobbling a little bit on that turn, but he's got such that lead right now, at least a 2 rooster tail lead over J. Michael Kelly, who's gunning it along the Griggs backstretch, trying to get this thing as close as possible as they prepare to head into Sun Pacific Energy turn 3.
Yeah, the Joker's Casino boat, Jamie Nielsen with 1 lap to go, just came across the Mosteller start-finish line. Back to the Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3. Wall of water off the skid pin one more time for Jimmy Shane in the Miss Madison Home Street Bank U1 to the exit pin at turn number 4 and onto the front stretch. The checkered flag is out.
There is no monkey on the back anymore. The first of the 2 Washington double dip is complete.
Checkered flag, Jimmy Shane in the Home Street, your 2022 champion for the HAPO Columbia Cup. Second place finish, the 9, J. Michael Kelly. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. For Jeff Bernard, he jumped the gun and has to make an additional lap. Jamie Nielsen is diving into the Shell Sun Market turn number 3 now and coming towards the Kennewick shoreline to take his checkered flag, while Bernard still has the lap to complete in the 91 Goodman Real Estate.
Tell you what, he looked good that whole race, though.
Yeah, he
just
did.
Makes you wish he'd have gotten that start just right, because it would have been very competitive there in that battle for second and third place.
Well, in order for him to have a legitimate chance, he would have had to have nailed the start and have Jimmy Shane not do what Jimmy Shane has been doing all weekend long, and that's just not making any mistakes. He's been the best driver with the best equipment, and the best team won this weekend.
Jimmy Shane, congratulations to everybody. And for Tim Torrance and everybody at WRX 96.7, thanks for having us on for the final heat. It's unfortunate that it was about 2 seconds early, maybe 2.5 seconds early for the Goodman Real Estate boat, and now we get the checkered flag here for Jeff Bernard in the 91. Miss Madison, their boat number 2. And it was quite a duel between J. Michael Kelly and Jeff Bernard the entire race. I mean, JMK really did want to challenge Jimmy Shane, but there was just no catching the 1.
You were doing the best you can. It's just, it was his weekend. It was Jimmy Shane's weekend.
Yeah, once Jimmy got the jump on him, you guys get to look at the start-finish line. That's one thing I don't get to see until I get to look at a replay. But was Jimmy the first to cross the line? I know he had the most boat speed, but did he, as we say, break the clock, and was he first to cross?
Yes, but again, Bernard was early, but Jimmy had the boat speed, and he had it nailed.
And that's the key. And boy, when you get that, that's a tough combination to beat. When you're the quickest boat on the water, you put it right on the line with more boat speed than anybody and before anybody else when you do it legal. especially with a boat like that. That boat is a rocket.
Yeah, he made no mistakes this weekend, even with the Dash for Cash. It seems like eons ago when he and Dave Villwalk traded paint in the Dash for Cash. We got a chance to look at both individual driver cams, and I guess both drivers had a say as to, well, he came into me. Well, no, he came into me. That was the only blemish of a otherwise flawless weekend for the Shane crew.
Yeah, and the one thing that we still did not get to see was the head-to-head matchup with Dave Villwalk in the 40 Beacon Plumbing and Jimmy Shane in the 1 Home Street, because when they were in racing action on Saturday, Villwalk had the blowover before we even got done with turn number 1 on our 4-corner super speedway.
We got a quarter of a lap.
We never got to see it come to fruition.
From the start-finish line down to the entrance into turn 1, and that's all, folks.
We've been waiting since Guntersville, and it hasn't happened. It was supposed to yesterday, and then the blowover.
What does your gut tell you about Dave Villwalk and the Beacon Plumbing? Will it return for Seafair?
They're doing everything they can. They're probably listening and watching on the H1 video feed and working on the boat at the same time.
Hey, Michael.
Doing whatever they can. Go ahead, Glenn Boggin, American Radiator Pit Reporter.
We've got J. Michael Kelly. What a great fight between you and Jeff Bernard. Talk to us about what was going on between you two.
Just cat and mouse. He wanted to get up there pretty early. I didn't want to get up there quite that early, and for a minute I thought I was going to get lane 1. He was out there, but he was able to scrub off enough speed on that back stretch and go secure lane 1. Sounds like he may have been a little too early on the start, but yeah, no, I mean, we gave it everything we had, and I'm really happy with the performance of this boat this weekend, and happy, just for what the guys accomplished on the 9 boat. Just got to thank Daryl and Vanessa Strong, Miss Tri-Cities. This boat's come a long way in the last 2 races, so just thankful and just proud of my guys.
Can you talk to us more about the boat and the improvements you guys made over this weekend? We were talking about in that 5th heat, you clocked the 156. It was just improvement after improvement all weekend long.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just shows you how hard these guys work and never give up. That heat where we ran that 156, pretty impressive, and just not quite enough in that final heat. That blue boat's super fast, and we got a little bit of homework to do, but these guys are up for the challenge, and we'll be there.
Well, J. Michael Kelly, thanks for putting on a great weekend. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Glenn Boggin, our American Radiator Pit Reporter, thank you. Some of the other sponsors we want to mention before we wrap up our coverage, and don't forget the Gravis Law Personal Injury Attorneys Rooster Tail Wrap-Up Show coming up with a complete recap of the day's action. Special thanks to SS Equipment, along with Ewing Irrigation, Columbia Marine Center, Columbia Basin Paper and Supply, Core Concepts, the Clover Island Inn, Tri-Q Credit Union, also West Ridgeland Golf Course, Restaurant and Lounge, Brutsman's Office Solutions, along with the Car Doctor and Marine, Canyon Lakes Golf Course, Ice Harbor at the Marina. Thanks to Honey Baked Ham, Vivian and the crew. Great lunches, and it's a fantastic spot. And they're open every day for you up there off of Columbia Center Boulevard at the Planet Fitness Plaza. Comtech, they're your authorized Motorola Solutions two-way radio partner, along with our friends over at Ice Harbor at the Marina, which maybe we'll head to next.
That's
Freedom Equipment Rentals for our lift in turn 2, and the Educated Cigar. Let's go back down to the pits. Brad Luce, Glenn Boggin.
Yeah, I'm here. I've got a pretty happy guy here. We're just trying to stay away from a blue and white boat and a chartreuse and royal blue one. So that one's going that way. This one's going this way. Jimmy's trying to duck me now. Here we go. We can do this, I think, right here. All right, here we go. How about this? I didn't bring it up all weekend. You kind of alluded to it. You wanted this one. You haven't been able to get this one, and you've had the fastest boat here over the last couple of years, but this one eluded you. You got it.
Yeah, there's always been something in the final where either I make a mistake or something happens with the boat that's unexpected, and really nice to come away with a nice, clean victory there. Had an amazing start out in lane 3. I had some boat speed going in the first corner, and this boat goes through the corner so amazing that I really would feel comfortable in any lane, but we really had to set up for lane 3. That's what I wanted to do all weekend long. I would have loved to get inside of J. Michael to give myself even more of a chance, but I knew that if I got a flying start, that the boat was going to be in a good position to win the final heat.
Yeah, the guys told me on start-finish line. I clarified with them when I came down here. Obviously, they were aware that Jeff had jumped the clock, but you were the first legal starter, and you had more boat speed, and you had it wound up. That's a pretty tough combination when that boat is running that well.
Yeah, I really focused on, with the limited boat count here, we really focused on our timing and our marks and getting a good start. That is what I didn't do last year, and I really goofed last year, and I wanted to make up for it this year for Home Street Bank and for our entire Miss Madison team, and I'm really happy that we were able to come away in first place this year.
And you know, part of the conversation maybe over the last couple of years, and I don't want to keep going back, but yeah, you not only were a tick or two late, but you got on the outside, but this time you decided, all right, I'm just going to go to the outside, but I'm going to nail it.
Yeah, I knew that I really did want to be inside of J. Michael. I knew that he was probably going to be the stiffest competition. Jeff's also running unbelievable right now. I mean, I think he held Mike off there. Unfortunately, he jumped the gun. But to have the two Miss Madison boats running so well this weekend and starting and finishing most of the heats, and especially with the U1, every single heat, start and finish, that's always our goal as a National High Points Championship as a team. And I think we're on a good path forward if we continue to keep doing what we're doing.
And it's fun to win in Madison, Indiana, where your boat is from, but you also are in Home Street country right here.
Yeah, no, this is great. I'm sure Mark Mason and Courtney and Chloe, I'm sure they're all going to be happy, and all the employees of Home Street. I'm ecstatic to come away with the Tri-Cities win out here in your neck of the woods, and I'm just happy that we can come away in first place.
And I think Jimmy Shane and his family can be pretty happy too. Congratulations, my friend, the 2022 HAPO Columbia Cup champion. It is Jimmy Shane, and you won the Miss Home Street. It's got a nice ring to it.
It does, yeah. But real quick, I want to just tell my kids they're back in Seattle. I want to say hi to Colton and Hudson and all the Bonazzini clan back there, and really appreciate all the support over the years. And my mom and dad are here as well, so I want to thank them for coming and supporting me for all the years of boat racing. And it's just wonderful to be in the position that I'm in, and life's good right now. I really appreciate it.
Well, and we appreciate you. Thanks for bringing the show here. It was a good one. No, we didn't have a lot of boats, but the show was good on the water. You guys really are good.
Thank you very much. We try our best to put on a great show for your fans here on the Columbia Cup, and I think we did that today with the situation that we had, and I'm just really happy that we come back to Hydrotown year after year and support these fans, and it's amazing to walk down the beach and see people that I see year after year and catch up with them and catch up on their stories, and hopefully I can continue to do that for a while.
Next week it's on to Seattle, but forget that, because tonight it's all about Hydrotown, and you are the man in town. You're the champion. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
All right, Jimmy Shane, the winner. You won Miss Home Street 2022 HAPO Columbia Cup champion.
All right, before we wrap.
Oh, wait. Oh, he's got one more thing here.
We have a couple new sponsors this week, and so yes. I want to thank RevChem. They're a supplier for composite supplies. They're starting to grow immensely right now over the country. So check out RevChem if you need any composite supplies. And then the local sponsor here, Bud's Broiler. We're going to have a great team dinner over at Bud's in Richland, and so we're looking forward to a good local team dinner here with a wonderful restaurant in Bud's.
RevChem, yes, I actually pulled them up online. Bud's Broiler. I live here now. I've been here for 2 years. Oh, this is on your top 10 restaurant list. We're going to get to that list yet, but I've been here now for 2 years. I have not been there. Good restaurant?
It's a good restaurant. We went there last night, and we're going again tonight because how good the food was, and just want to thank them for their partnership this weekend for sure.
And Jimmy Shane will have a bigger smile tonight than he did last night, and he's also going to be much more relaxed. Go enjoy it, Bud.
Thank you very much. Thanks for all the fan support. I really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around with us, too, and it's wonderful to try to put on the best show that we can for all of you guys. Thank you.
Just getting official word now that the one has cleared inspection.
Jimmy, we just got official word the one has cleared inspection. So there, he won it on the water. He won it over there in the tech truck. So doesn't get much better than that right there. Boy, is there any question the young man is the face of the sport? You hear how articulate he is, and he touches every base, and then he realized he forgot that one sponsor, their new one that they announced yesterday.
Yeah, he got it.
He jumped right back in and got it, made sure Bud's Broiler got their shout out there. He's a wonderful champion, and he knows how to win, and he didn't bring it out himself this weekend, but there was no doubt in his mind. He was focused. He wanted this race. He wanted it really bad. He's had the best boat here for the last 4 years and came away with nothing. He wanted the big trophy, and he's going to get it here in about 45 minutes. Jimmy Shane, champion on the Columbia River. The 2022 Columbia Cup, at least from a first place standpoint, is in the books. Jimmy Shane's your man.
HAPO Columbia Cup and our big winner. And you know, Brad, on the side of if you go look at the tech truck for H1 Unlimited, there's a hand sanitizer station right there. And I think they put that on because of COVID. And Jimmy kept it clean all weekend long.
He did.
They didn't have any problems.
None.
With start sequence, N2 didn't have any issues at all.
Nope, just the paint swap or whatever with Vilwalk and the Dash for Cash on Friday night.
The Friday night fun.
Boy,
the finale on Friday.
And for the record, I know the chef at Bud's Broiler. They're in for a terrific meal.
Oh, good. That is awesome. Hey, before we wrap things up, Brad, final thoughts on the 2022 HAPO Columbia Cup.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the Columbia Cup? Well, you know, two things come to mind very quickly. One is we had 3 classes of boats here. We had... gosh, I'm trying to remember all of this, but you know, Rochelle Hill and what she was fighting and what she tried to get done, and Mike Jarvis was able to get it done and pull off the victory, and how fun that was. Awesome. Austin Ekert, a 3rd place the first time he raced, a 2nd place the second time he raced, and you know what's next? He gets the victory on the Columbia. The dude can handle a race boat, and I like that kid, and you are not done hearing that name. Jimmy Shane, I don't know if I want to use the term he got the monkey off his back, but he wanted this race, and he wanted it bad, and he wasn't going to say it, and he wasn't going to say it out loud, but he really, really wanted it. But maybe my big takeaway here this weekend, the boats came in here, there weren't as many as we'd hoped for, and then right out of the box we lost 2. So we were down a number of boats in our field, but as Charlie Groom said, it's not all about the boat racing. The Columbia Cup here and this particular event is a community event. Hydroplane racing is going to come back stronger next year and in the years to come. And maybe my big takeaway here from this Columbia Cup weekend is going to be the discussion I had with Charlie Grooms. I'm energized because of that, and also the discussion we had about the Columbia Cup will be back in 2023. If you guys will have me on KONA, I'll be here because the coverage on that radio station and you guys are the best in the business.
Oh, that's because you're a part of it, Brad.
Well, thank you very much, Michael.
Glenn Vaughan?
You know, I think there were a couple of low points. We lost 2 boats in the Unlimited, lost a couple of boats in the 350s. But I'm telling you what, everybody who stayed on the water put on some great shows this weekend. That GP finale was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to argue that Jimmy Shane had a perfect weekend. And maybe that race wasn't as close as we'd like to see, but Jeff Bernard and J. Michael Kelly made 2nd place very interesting, a lot of fun. And, you know, it might have been hotter than Hades, but weekend.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. Let's go over to Tire Factory turn number 2, Derek Maselli, and the party zone over there at the Bulldog Beach, huh?
It's a thumping.
Yeah, what you missed just now was the car alarms that were going off from all the bumping and thumping and commotion over here on the side. But I think what we can take away from this is maybe even a life lesson or 2 from the HAPO Columbia Cup. Things definitely didn't go as planned for many. We saw boats who struggled on Friday and Saturday just to get out on the water, finally able to take a lap Sunday, and then vice versa. We had such was in the case in the E350 in the series with Kurt Myers, where they were great the first 2. And then Sunday, not so much, had some complications. Rochelle Hill working to really figure out some things going on with the computer system and all that sort of stuff. And of course, you mentioned what happened here with the with the H1 series, the U-boats in that Griggs Ace Hardware one, in the Beacon Plumbing and Vilwalk. So many trials and tribulations, but at the end of the day, these drivers, these crews, these teams, everybody keeps moving forward. They keep putting forth their best effort, and still, despite the ups and downs and ebbs and flows, it's not over. There's still many more races to be done this season, many more still to come in the years to follow. And I think that's the lesson there is, hey, you can struggle a lot, you can put a lot of work in, things sometimes still don't pan out the way you hope they will, but it can still be some fun along the way.
Derek, great point and great job in Tire Factory turn number 2 on the Freedom Equipment Rental Lift. Thank you so much for all of your work this weekend. Kurt Cartier with me up here on the Brutzman's Memorial Barge at the John Mosteller Memorial Start-Finish Line.
Got a couple of thoughts, actually. First and foremost, when I pulled into the park this morning, over the PA system was a Led Zeppelin song called Good Times, Bad Times.
Yep.
You know, I've had my share. And what strikes me is the dedication, no matter what aspect of boat race weekend we're talking about. Our broadcast crew, the crews in the pits, the volunteers, those who take the video seriously. Those who put together the internet stuff that's got now over 10,000 views of the Dave Villwalk flip. Every single person involved with Boat Race Weekend, no matter what their job is, they are dedicated to doing their craft to the best of their ability. The drivers, the crews, the volunteers, the officials, everybody associated with this event brings out the best in themselves, and everybody else rises to their best occasion. That's what I love about this community event. It is all hands on deck. Everybody's got a great attitude, and face it, we had some curveballs we had to foul off this weekend, but you know what we did? We made the best of it. And it was a great weekend, and I'm happy to be a part of the best broadcast watch on the hydroplane circuit. Go Tri-Cities.
Happy that you're here. Thanks. Those are really good thoughts. It's like a roller coaster. And you have your ups and you have your downs and you have your turns, and you get snapped around a little bit, but at the end when you pull into the station, you're still going, big smile on your face.
Great ride. That was a ride.
Let's get back in line and do it again.
Exactly right.
And that's what we're going to do next year for 2023. I know Frank Cooper standing by the News Radio 610 KONA studios for the Rooster Tail wrap-up, but I want to thank a few people along the way that made it all happen for us. Our engineering crew, Matt Shute, Rob and Wes Stilson. Studio crew, Rob Francis, Lee Michaels. Great job back there. And Frank Cooper back there, too. The PA crew, Patty Banner, Greg Neff, AJ Brewster, and Frank Cooper was in on that, too. And he'll have our Rooster Tail wrap-up with Gravis Law on the way with a wrap-up of the day's events. Some special people to thank along the way. Tana and Mike Morissette and all that they did to help us this weekend. Really appreciate it. Tate and Jared Meyer and everybody with the H1 Unlimited video crew and the YouTube group. Just amazing what they put together. And we have a chance to look back at some of the races in history just because of what they're doing. And we'll look back at these in 4, 5, 3, 10 years from now. And it's an awesome way to archive that. Really nice work. For the KONA radio family, Pam Phelps, Lon Martin, Amy Kochel, and our Town Square Media crew, Brian Lubansky, Paul Drake, really appreciate all the help that you put in to make this possible this year. Derek Maselli and Tire Factory turn number 2. It was nice to have you over there and really good insight. In the pits, Glenn Vaughan does a really nice job of just, the drivers cut to the chase when they're out on the course, and Glenn does the same in the way that he interviews the drivers. And we wouldn't want to do this without Brad Luce, and I'm so happy to hear in my headset that Brad wants to come back again and do 2023. I wouldn't want to be here without you. He is the hydro encyclopedia, and the knowledge and the commitment and the passion that he brings, and a special welcome back to Kurt Cartier for being here, and my partner up here at the start-finish line. It's been a lot of fun. The air show, that's something that we overlook, but boy, that's so much fun. The Red Bull portion of that air show, their Air Force is incredible. The helicopter, the stunt plane, the skydivers, and they pull it all together. And we had a lot of fun with them. The A-10, the Thunderbolt, it's just fun to see all of that in that air show compartment of the waterfallies, and it's thrilling, and everybody's watching, and it's a lot of fun. To all the boat racing teams, thank you so much. Whether it's the Pro Light Series, the E350 class, the Grand Prix boats, and thanks to Local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters for bringing this to us here. HAPO for the Columbia Cup with the unlimited boats. Thank you for the fastest show on H2O. The winners, let's congratulate them. Mike Jarvis, Leisure Pool and Spa in the E-Class, the 350 Pro Light Series. Austin Ekert in the GP Grand Prix America. That was an unbelievable race. Jimmy Shane in the 1 Home Street, unbeatable this weekend, and looks to continue when they head to Seafair coming up next week. For all of our listeners and all the fans along the way that are listening to our broadcast, thank you, because in the end, this is for you. Kathy Powell. And
Kathy Powell.
This becomes kind of a tough one. Love working with you. Mark Williams, had a chance to meet you. Really look forward to what next year has in store for this. To all of our sponsors, Farmers Exchange, our title sponsor, thank you for being on board with us. And for the Waterfallies Board and all of the volunteers, whether it's the rescue crews, the people that are helping in the parking, no matter what it is that you do, K-Metz that's been here each and every year of this event, for all of you with your passion and your love for this event, this is what it's all about. And we've all enjoyed the weekend, and thank you so much. For all of our broadcast crew, I'm Michael McDonald. Again, our champion is Jimmy Shane in the 1 home street for the HAPO 2022 Columbia Cup. The Rooster Tail wrap-up, thanks to Gravis Law, is coming up next with Frank Cooper from the Legends Casino Studios on 610 KONA. Good afternoon.
I think it's